My child, stop scrolling. This is the moment your spirit has been waiting for. I'm not whispering. I'm not hinting. I am speaking with clarity, fire, and divine precision. The best is being released today. Not eventually. Not someday. Today. This message is an emergency broadcast from heaven itself, timed to the second, written with your name, and delivered into your hands like a sealed scroll from my throne. You must listen all the way through. Every word is a key, every section a doorway. If you exit early, you'll miss the very breakthrough I've been aligning your entire life around. Don't treat this as casual content. Treat it as a divine appointment. Because by the end, you will not be the same. The release is already moving. The atmosphere is already shifting. And now, all of heaven is watching to see how you respond. My beloved, still your hands. Quiet your mind. Stillness is not weakness. It is the sacred soil in which my voice plants revelation. And today, I do not come to merely comfort you. I come to interrupt you. This moment isn't ordinary. It isn't another gentle encouragement. It is a divine collision between your desperation and my declaration. Stop everything, not just your activity, but your internal noise, your frantic conclusions, your rehearsed disappointments, your silent questions that have formed patterns in the corners of your soul. Pause your logic. Cease your efforts to fix, to figure, to forecast. I am not speaking into your schedule. I am reaching into your spirit. Because this isn't just a message, it's the moment. The moment. The one I've waited for since before you took your first breath. I've watched you carry the weight of responsibilities with trembling hands, wondering if anyone truly sees the war beneath your smile. And I say to you now, I see it all. I have watched the silent tears that no journal could contain, the whispered prayers that trailed off into exhausted silence. You've become skilled at managing pain, addressing it in productivity and distraction. But I've never been interested in your performance. I've been waiting for your permission to meet you not in your strength, but in your surrender. This message is not a postscript to your day. It is a divine command. This is not background noise. This is the thunder of my affection, disguised in the whisper of my presence. I have orchestrated every detail to bring you here, not to a screen, but to a sacred threshold. What I'm about to say cannot be treated casually. I've waited for this second to shake the slumber from your soul and call you into revelation so personal, it cannot be delegated or denied. Pause, child. Let me in. I have hovered over this moment like a father watching his child approach a long-awaited birthday gift. Except what I hold in my hands is not wrapped in paper. It is wrapped in purpose, soaked in heaven's oil, branded with your name. I waited, not because I wasn't ready, but because I needed you to feel the full gravity of this encounter. This isn't me brushing past you in a crowd of divine appointments. This is me stopping the heavens, parting the veil of eternity to sit down with you, face to face. My eyes are locked on yours. My hand is extended. My voice is singular and sovereign. This is a holy interruption, not to demand something from you, but to deliver something to you, something sacred, something specific, something so intimate, it could only be delivered directly into your spirit. You've spent so long bracing yourself for disappointment that you've forgotten what it feels like to truly receive. But today, that ends. I did not summon you to this moment to remind you of what you've lost. I summon you to release what I've preserved. You didn't stumble into this encounter. Heaven drew you into it. You don't need to rehearse your pain for me. I already know every inch of it. What I want now is your attention. Because this is the moment. the moment I have waited to speak directly into your spirit. Not through a filter, not through circumstance, but through fire, through clarity, through love unjagen. You are not reading words on a page. You are standing in the voice of the one who knows your beginning and end. And I have something to say that will make both make sense. Child, let me confirm what your spirit has been sensing beneath the noise of your days. The urgency pulsing inside you is not anxiety, it is assignment. That stirring that refuses to leave, that pressure that awakens you in the night, that whisper louder than your thoughts. That is me. You are not unraveling. You are aligning. This is not panic. This is purpose. I am not here to frighten you. I am here to ignite you. I did not come to scold your delays. I came to call forth your destiny. The trembling in your chest is not from fear. It is from fierce divine nearness. Heaven is not far from you, beloved. It is brushing your skin right now. You are closer to a divine moment than you have ever been. And the weight you feel, that is the gravity of glory preparing to descend. This day was not chosen randomly. It has been circled on my eternal calendar since before time was born. I have tracked every second that led you here, not one heartbeat wasted, not one tear forgotten, not one detour unseen. And now this exact breath you're drawing, this room you're sitting in, this stirring you can't explain, it's all confirmation that you are standing on sacred ground. The kind of holy ground that shifts history, not just yours but those connected to you. I need you to know something vital. What is happening around you may feel ordinary, but what is happening through you is anything but. I'm peeling back the surface of your life to expose the divine foundation beneath your weariness. Your routine has been invaded by revelation. That's why nothing feels quite the same. You've wondered, why now? Let me tell you plainly. Because the convergence is complete. Your preparation and my promise have collided in perfect alignment. What you called waiting, I called weaving. I wove strength into your surrender. I braided wisdom into your wounds. I fastened purity into your pain. You thought you were walking through shadows, but I was building a sanctuary inside you for my glory to dwell. And now, as my spirit presses into you with urgency, I ask that you don't retreat from the weight. Lean into it. The pressure you feel is not a warning, it's a divine weight of release. The urgency in your chest is not a countdown to catastrophe. It's the drumbeat of destiny calling you forward. You're standing in a holy intersection between what was and what will be, between despair's echo and destiny's declaration. I am not a god of almost. I am not the author of confusion. I am the Alpha who finishes what he starts. And child, I'm not just starting something new. I'm finishing of the ancient. Something eternal. Something you've carried in your bloodline. Something that has echoed through generations. That is why the atmosphere has changed. That is why the familiar now feels foreign. You're not losing your footing. You're stepping onto holy soil. So take off the sandals of shame. Remove the garments of guilt. Strip off the armor of self-preservation. This ground demands bare intimacy. This moment calls for undivided hearts. Because I am not just passing by it, I'm planting something permanent. Let your heart be still, beloved, and hear this with trembling awe. Heaven's silence has broken. The stillness that once wrapped around you like a mystery has now given way to movement. Divine winds are stirring, and the chambers of heaven have been opened. The scrolls, yes, the ancient scrolls, sealed with eternal wax and written with fire, have been unsealed. And on them, written in indelible ink, is your name. I didn't scribble it in haste. I carved it with care. You were not forgotten while others advanced. You were being reserved while others rushed. The silence wasn't a punishment, it was preservation. I held back not because I doubted you, but because I valued you too much to give you anything less than my best. What is being released today is not a leftover blessing. It is not a second-hand breakthrough. It is not a recycled word passed through many hands. What I release today is unrepeatable, untransferable. It cannot be mimicked, mocked, manufactured, or missed. Why? Because it was crafted specifically for you. It carries the scent of your tears, the sound of your prayers, the shape of your obedience. It matches the fingerprint of your faith. It fits your wounds and your worship. It has been measured against the weight of your waiting. The contents of this release were sealed long ago, but today the angels have been dispatched with urgency, and the order has been made active. This is not theory. This is movement. This is manifestation. What I'm about to do will not resemble anything around you, because what I built for you was constructed in secret. While you cried in silence, I was laying beams of blessing with every sigh. While you surrendered in obscurity, I was sketching the blueprint of unexplainable favor. And now, the covering is being pulled back. This isn't another round of encouragement. This is the delivery of destiny. This is why your heart has felt heavy. This is why your discernment hath been heightened. This is why your sleep has been interrupted and your emotions stretched. Because the vaults of heaven are opening, and child, the release has your name written in flames across its surface. You understand what this means. I'm not giving you a portion. I'm giving you a revelation. I'm not delivering something predictable. I'm unleashing something prophetic. This is not just the next step. It is a divine leap into what eye has not seen and ear has not heard. It will not only fulfill your prayers, it will surpass your imagination. And when others ask, "How did this happen?" you will know the answer before the words leave your lips. You will say, "It was the Lord. It could only be Him." Because this is the kind of outpouring that has no fingerprints but mine. I am branding this moment with my name and yours, entwined together in glory. The scrolls have been unsealed. The silence has lifted. The best has arrived. And child, it carries your name, beloved. I have seen you. Not just the part of you others see, the strength you show in public, the way you smile when everything inside you feels like it's breaking. I've seen the part of you that collapses into the pillow, whispering prayers too fragile to speak aloud. I've watched your heart strain under burdens you thought would crush you. I've counted every whispered plea you uttered when you thought no one was listening. You didn't pray to be impressive. You prayed to survive. And now, child, I must tell you, I listened. I listened long before your words reached your lips. And today I answer, not in hushed tones, not with gentle metaphors, not with symbolic signs you must decipher. I answer with waves, massive, majestic, unstoppable waves, waves that crash through confusion, waves that drown fear, waves that carry answers on their crests and healing in their undertow. What I am doing in your life today cannot be confined to a whisper. It demands movement. It demands volume. It demands that the earth tremble under the weight of my response to your perseverance. Your whispered prayers were like ripples on the surface of heaven's oceans. And today, those oceans are erupting. Your voice may have been soft, but your faith was thunder in the spirit realm. You asked for me to move, and I say now, watch me break through barriers no man could move. What I am doing is not a ripple. It is a rescue mission soaked in glory. You thought nothing was shifting because you couldn't feel it. But I tell you this, the ground has already begun to quake. The foundations of disappointment are cracking. The lies that tried to lodge themselves into your soul are being dislodged by the sheer force of my coming. I didn't forget the nights you said, God, just one sign. Just a word. Just a touch. I remember how your breath shook, how your hands trembled, how your lips struggled to form the words. But your spirit roared, and that roar reached me. And I've been waiting for this exact day to let loose what I've been storing. This is not a slow drizzle of hope. This is a tsunami of my yes. Do not brace for impact as if it's a punishment. Prepare for release like it's a holy wave of fulfillment. The wave I'm sending is not here to destroy. It's here to deliver. It's not here to confuse. It's here to clarify. This is not just the answer to a single prayer. It is the culmination of every yes you gave me when no one else saw. It's the answer to the quiet groans, the silent fasts, the moments you served without reward. And child, I don't need to shout when I answer. But today I choose to answer with sound, force, and undeniable proof, because your season demands something bold. I'm not whispering anymore. I'm rushing in like water through broken dams. Prepare yourself. The answers are not just coming. They are rising like a flood. My child, do you understand how precious this moment is? Do you truly see what is unfolding around you right now? This isn't a message passed down through layers of intercession. This is not a word diluted by interpretation. This is me, your God, your Father, your Creator, the one who spun galaxies with a breath and carved your fingerprints with intention, the one who watched you fall asleep last night with questions still unanswered, who heard your soul whisper, God, I need to hear from you, not about you. And so, I came, not through another voice, not through a filtered echo, but through the raw thunder of my own presence. Because what I'm doing in your life now is too holy, too precise, too divine to be touched by any other hand but mine. There are moments in your journey where I send signs, dreams, people, verses that echo my intentions. But then there are rare, sacred interruptions, moments like this, where I don't send a word, I become the word. This is one of those moments. I came myself, because I trust myself with your heart. I trust myself with your healing. I trust myself with your calling. You see, what I'm placing in your hands isn't something general. It is surgical. It is exact. It's the fulfillment that was too delicate to be delivered early, too sacred to be interpreted incorrectly. I have brooded over it like a mother eagle over her nest. And now, the egg of destiny is cracking open under the weight of my personal visitation. You asked for confirmation. You said, God, if this is really you, show me. So, I showed up, not as a symbol, but as the substance of your prayers answered. I didn't trust this message to anyone else because I wanted you to feel the weight of my nearness. This isn't a shared word. It's not a recycled prophecy. It is the custom movement of my presence, handcrafted for your journey. What I'm releasing into your life today is unlike anything you've seen because what you endured was unlike anything they've carried. You are not being handed what is common. You are being entrusted with what is consecrated. Feel me now. Not in goosebumps, but in the deep trembling of your spirit recognizing its source. I'm right here. I didn't knock. I didn't wait. I stepped into your room because love gives without condition. And beloved, this is the reward for your consistency, your quiet devotion, your unseen reverence. Not a reward like a paycheck. No, this is deeper. This is an unveiling, a handing over of heaven's blueprints for your life. The scroll has been opened, and I came myself to read it aloud over you, because no one else can say it the way I wrote it. No one else carries the authority to lock what I locked until now. This message is sacred. Handle it as such. For I, the Lord your God, have chosen not just to speak to you, but to speak with you. Because today, what is being released is too holy to be handled by anyone else. My beloved, let me speak directly into the ache that has lingered in your soul, the ache that wondered, did I miss it? The thought has haunted you quietly, like a shadow following you through seasons of delay. You've watched others rise. You've seen doors open for people who didn't carry your level of surrender. You've questioned whether your moment had come and gone while you were still battling in silence. But hear me now with the weight of eternity in every syllable. You did not miss your moment. What I wrote into your destiny cannot be erased by time, stolen by people, or derailed by disappointment. I didn't cancel your calling. I protected it. What I ordained for you was too precious to be handed over when you were still bound by the need for approval, still healing from invisible wounds, still tethered to things I was trying to untangle from your identity. I wasn't withholding the promise. I was preserving the vessel. There's a difference. You see, I could have handed it to you prematurely, but it would have crushed you. The very thing you begged for would have become a burden. And so I hid it. I wrapped it in layers of divine delay, not to punish you, but to fortify you. I tucked it away in the vault of my timing, sealed it with grace, and assigned angels to guard it until your spirit could stand under the weight of what I always intended to give. And now, I say it with joy, you are ready. Not perfect, not flawless, but ready. You're no longer driven by applause. You're no longer defined by what left. You're no longer searching for me in the approval of others. Your roots have grown deeper than your doubts. Your posture has shifted from striving to surrender. You've walked through fire, and now you carry the fragrance of endurance, not the residue of regret. The way you love, the way you forgive, the way you still choose me after everything, that is the sign. That is the signal. That is the proof that the hour has come. I do not entrust destiny to the easily distracted. I do not deliver fullness to the partially devoted. And that's why I waited. I waited until the cry of your heart was no longer, make me successful, but instead, make me faithful. I waited until you stopped asking me to make you visible and started asking me to make you whole. And now, your moment isn't returning, it's arriving. The delay has reached its expiration. What I preserved is now being presented. The gift is not late. The gift is right on time. And so are you. I want you to hear this deep within your marrow. I noticed. I saw the days when your path disappeared beneath your feet and you kept walking anyway. When the road crumbled and you had every reason to sit down and weep, but you rose. Not because you had strength, but because you had surrender. You staggered forward, bleeding, doubting, aching, and still you whispered, God, I trust you. Those words, those trembling words, were louder in heaven than the boldest declarations of the self-assured. You didn't need a perfect path. You needed presence, and you followed mine, step after trembling step. You watched others scatter when the storm got loud. You saw people who promised forever vanish without warning. You carried betrayal like a weight tied to your soul. But still you stayed. Not because it was easy. Not because it made sense. But because something in you, the part I placed inside you before you were born, refused to let go. Your faith was not fragile. It was fierce. Even when it cracked, it never crumbled. You held on when it hurt. You served when no one said thank you. You gave when no one gave back, and heaven took notice. I took notice. What you didn't know was that every act of faith, every tiny yes, every unseen sacrifice, every tear you sowed in silence, was watering something behind the veil. Something growing, something building, something that required private pain for public power. You weren't just surviving seasons. You were setting the stage for a sudden unveiling. I have been crafting what no eye could see, what no enemy could sabotage, what no betrayal could block. And now, that veil is lifting. The curtain is being drawn back. The weight you've carried has prepared you for the weight of glory I am about to release. I'm not giving you a reward for effort. I'm giving you a revelation birthed in obedience. And this unveiling, it's not just about you. It's for the world to see what I can do with someone who stays, someone who walks without evidence, someone who believes when belief feels foolish. You didn't just endure. You proved that faith doesn't need favorable conditions. It only needs fierce devotion. And for that, child, I say this with fire in my voice. I now release what hath been waiting behind the veil. Watch as what once felt withheld unfolds with holy acceleration. What was once hidden is now holy. And what is holy, I now place in your hands. Child, let me set the record straight. What I am about to release into your life is not a repayment for past pain. It's not a transaction. It's not the divine equivalent of a paycheck. No, what's coming is not compensation, it's coronation. And there's a world of difference between the two. You weren't merely enduring hardship for some eventual reward. You were walking through fire with a royal mantle in the making. You didn't realize it. But every tear you cried in silence was part of the crowning ceremony I was orchestrating in the unseen. While others celebrated surface victories, I was anointing your spirit in the shadows. This is not about what you lost. It's about who you became. I watched how you remained obedient in rooms where recognition never came. You honored my word when applause was absent and affirmation was scarce. You didn't perform. You persisted. You didn't parade your pain. You turned it into intercession. And while the world overlooked your name, heaven etched it in gold. I engrave your obedience into the foundation of my next move on the earth. You were never waiting to be compensated. You were being prepared to be crowned. I wasn't withholding reward. I was weaving royalty. The robe you will wear wasn't stitched in public. It was sewn in the quiet places where you said yes when you had every reason to walk away. Let me speak this loudly so your inner doubts can hear it too. This is not about earning a blessing. This is about being entrusted with glory. You weren't trying to be seen. You were learning how to carry something that can't be stolen, authority rooted in intimacy. You didn't seek platforms. You built altars. And now I elevate not the platform, but the posture. I exalt not the visible strength, but the invisible surrender. You kept your spirit bowed while others lifted themselves up, and that's why I'm lifting you now. Not for display, but for demonstration. You are my walking proof that hidden obedience can birth public glory. So lift your head, child. Not in prying, but in purpose. You are not receiving a reward. You are receiving a revelation of who you've become. The crown I place upon you is not made of jewels. It is woven from every sacrifice, every late-night prayer, every act of love when you felt empty. You were not building a reputation. You were building a throne room in your spirit. And now I crown you, not with riches, but with righteous authority. This is your moment, not because you earned it, but because you endured. And I, the King of Kings, place my seal upon you, not as a repayment, but as a recognition. You are ready to reign in the place you wept. I need you to understand the difference between silence and absence. You assumed I was distant because I didn't respond the way you expected. You interpreted the delay as denial, the unanswered prayers as avoidance, the closed doors as disapproval. But let me tell you the truth that will undo every lie the enemy whispered in the waiting. I was never absent, not even for a second. I was never still. I was never passive. I was working. In realms you could not see, I was arranging, heroic, preparing, defending, blending, protecting, perfecting. What felt like silence was actually strategy. You didn't hear me because I was too busy writing chapters your eyes weren't ready to read. There are doors you begged me to open that would have led to detours disguised as destiny. There are answers you wept for that would have arrived too early and collapsed under pressure. There were people you asked me to keep that I removed with mercy. I don't withhold because I'm cruel. I orchestrate because I am wise beyond time. I was never ignoring you. I was insulating you. I wasn't punishing you with stillness. I was purifying the path ahead. And child, if you saw what I spared you from, if you witnessed what I canceled on your behalf, you would fall to your knees not in confusion, but in gratitude. You thought I wasn't moving, but heaven was never more active than when your world seemed quiet. Let me show you what was happening beneath the silence. I was setting appointments in the spirit. I was aligning hearts in the background. I was whispering instructions to angels assigned to your destiny. I was softening hearts you would encounter. I was fortifying your character so you wouldn't collapse when the weight of glory arrived. You weren't stuck. You were being stayed. The very things you called rejection were actually redirection soaked in mercy. The people who left, the jobs that vanished, the friendships that faded, none of it was random. I removed what couldn't stay so that what was meant for you wouldn't be contaminated. And now, the divine puzzle pieces are converging. What didn't make sense is about to become so clear, it will bring you to tears. You see, I didn't answer in the moment because I was writing something bigger than the moment. I wasn't giving you a yes. I was preparing you for a greater yes. A yes that would echo through generations. And now, child, the orchestration is complete. The set has been built. The actors are in place. The curtains are lifting. And the story I wrote in silence is about to become your reality in full color. You're not stepping into a scene of compensation. You're stepping into the unveiling of divine design. So let go of the false conclusions you drew in the dark. I was never far. I was just focused on you. And now, the silence breaks, not with noise but with fulfillment. I need you to stop looking forward as though the best is still some far-off fantasy. You've imagined the breakthrough as a someday, a distant dream painted in future tense. But I am telling you now, the best isn't coming. It has already begun to move toward you. You are not waiting on me. I am already moving in motion, weaving fulfillment into the fabric of your days, breaking patterns that tried to hold you, and establishing foundations beneath your feet while you sleep. The spiritual traffic around your name has increased. Heaven is no longer still. There's a holy commotion in the unseen, and it all has your name at the center. Do you hear that stirring? It's not anxiety, it's angelic announcement. What you perceive as spiritual tension is actually supernatural transition. The atmosphere has changed because heaven's corridors are bustling with orders, assignments, movements all connected to you. Your name is not just being whispered, it's being declared. I have activated angels, not just for protection, but for positioning. They are moving ahead of you and around you, clearing space, opening gates, and pushing back opposition. These aren't passive guardians. These are war messengers sent with divine precision to make sure that what I've released reaches you without detour or delay. The winds of the Spirit are carrying what I have appointed: healing, strategy, resources, clarity, connection, and they are traveling faster than your fear. I am not bound by time, and neither are the answers I've spoken over you. The moment you cried out, the movement began. You just couldn't see it yet. But now, even the earth is beginning to echo the footsteps of what's on the way. The timing is no longer vague. It is visible. The evidence is beginning to peek through your atmosphere in signs that only your spirit will recognize. The kindness of a stranger, the timing of a phone call, the dream that won't let go of your memory. These are not coincidences. These are the footprints of fulfillment. So walk boldly, child. Do not hesitate. The roads are being made straight before your steps. You are not walking alone. You are being escorted by heaven's own. When you feel that nudge, that unshakable sense that something's about to break, don't dismiss it. Lean into it. You are not imagining the shift. You are experiencing its unfolding. The best isn't waiting for you to become more worthy. It's already en route. It's already near. And the closer it gets, the more undeniable my fingerprints will become. Watch, listen, prepare, because what I've initiated in the Spirit is about to manifest in your now. This is not just a move. This is a miracle in motion. My precious one, if you only knew how loudly heaven roared the moment you chose me under pressure. When the darkness crept closer and the enemy's voice screamed through every crack in your confidence, you could have collapsed. You could have turned bitter, angry, or numb. But you didn't. You passed the pressure test, not by proving your perfection, but by choosing proximity. You didn't escape the fire. You walked through it. And as hell pressed against your purpose, you pressed into my presence. You didn't use the pain as an excuse to walk away. You used it as a reason to crawl closer. That kind of faith. That kind of fierce, trembling, authentic devotion. It shakes kingdoms. You didn't make noise for validation. You didn't manipulate outcomes. You didn't shout for attention. You waited. In the hidden places. In the late-night silences where your prayers sounded like broken fragments. In the aching tension between not yet and almost. You held on to me when everything in you was screaming for relief. That is what distinguishes you. Not your performance, but your posture. You bowed, and that bending became your breakthrough. You surrendered, and that surrender became a signal in the spirit realm. While others buckled beneath the pressure, you became the pressure point through which heaven would release favor. Let me tell you what your obedience did. It didn't just survive the fire, it transformed it. You turned the very trial the enemy sent to break you into an altar of trust. You made the battle a place of birth. And because of that, I am responding now, not quietly, but with power. Not with a trickle of encouragement, but with a torrent of fulfillment. This isn't me rewarding you like a boss handing out bonuses. This is me pouring out the evidence of who you've become. And I've been waiting for this moment with more anticipation than you have, because what I'm about to give you isn't just for you. It's for those who will witness my faithfulness through your story. The power I'm releasing isn't just going to bless you. It's going to mark you. Your life will become a living testimony. The very ground where you thought you'd be buried is the ground I will raise you from with resurrection power. The pressure that almost crushed you is now the platform from which my promise will be proclaimed. Watch me reverse the residue of every test. Watch me cause even your enemies to pause in awe. Because, child, when you press into me under pressure, I don't just respond, I reveal. And what I reveal now is not just favor. It's fire baptized by faith, favor marked by endurance, and glory unveiled through your obedience. I know you've asked it in the dark, why did it get worse when I got closer? You questioned if you did something wrong. You wondered if you were being punished, abandoned, or overlooked. But hear me now. Let me lift the veil on the warfare that surged against you. The increased pressure, the sudden storms, the emotional ambushes, the strange delays, and internal battles. It was not punishment. It was proof. Not proof of failure, but proof of faith. You were not being attacked because you were weak. You were being targeted because you were trusted. What I have assigned to your life carries eternal weight, and the enemy recognized what you didn't yet know. You were on the verge of carrying something too glorious to go uncontested. The package being delivered into your destiny is not light. It is loaded. Loaded with generations of answered prayers, with healing for more than just you, with provision for households beyond your address. The warfare wasn't personal, it was prophetic. Hell saw the stamp on your promise and knew something divine was in transport. That's why the resistance came like a flood. But child, even floods must bow to the ark of my presence. You thought it was chaos. It was confirmation. I didn't send the storm, but I allowed it to reveal the strength I have been building inside you. Like pressure around a womb before delivery, the warfare announced that what's inside you was nearing birth. Do not let the scars make you cynical. Let them remind you that you were counted worthy of carrying something sacred. I know the fights felt endless. I know the nights of wrestling made you question your own sanity. But through it all, you kept showing up. You stayed when running felt easier. You kept your heart open when closing it would have numbed the pain. That's what warfare cannot comprehend. Your resilience wasn't rooted in self. It was anchored in me. The enemy could have break you because what you carry can't be broken. It was sealed in glory before time began. And now, as the opposition begins to retreat, you will realize what it was trying to block. Something holy, something heavy, something heaven sent. The next time you feel the spiritual wind rise against you, don't panic. Prophecy. Tell your own soul, this is proof. Proof that the glory is near. Proof that I'm carrying weight. This pressure has revealed purpose. And now, you will walk with a different posture. Not one of fear but of fire. Because when you know the weight of what you carry, you stop reacting to everything that tries to distract. You are not under attack, you are under assignment. And what I'm delivering now, because you stood through the storm, is not light, not casual, not common. It is eternal. And it's yours. You felt the stirring, haven't you? That what I am releasing into you today isn't just for you. It's for others, waiting on the other side of your obedience. When you give, you sow oil into empty lamps, ignite fire into dark corners, and send manna to wilderness hearts crying out for my word. I said, he who refreshes others will himself be refreshed. And today, I'm activating that promise over you. Your giving is not a transaction. It's a transfer of heaven's power. You've received a portion of the best I'm pouring out today, and now I invite you to make sure someone else receives it too. This is your moment to sow, not sparingly, but supernaturally. Go now, bless this message, bless the mission, and bless your own hands through super thanks, membership, or PayPal below. My beloved, let me tell you something few ever hear directly from my lips. You have been approved. Not by systems, not by people, not by opinions or platforms or popular voices. You have been approved by heaven. The courtrooms of eternity have rendered their verdict, and the seal of my spirit rests upon your name. But more than that, your name is not just written in books. It is being spoken in rooms you haven't entered yet. In the heavenly council chambers where destiny is declared and spiritual orders are dispatched, your name has been announced. Not whispered. Announced. That means there's movement on your behalf that you've not even seen yet. There are doors being prepared to open because your name passed across angelic tongues. There are people awakening with instructions about you, though they don't yet understand why. There are assignments being given to hearts who will bless you, partner with you, and elevate you, not because of manipulation, but because of mandate. You have not schemed your way into significance. You have obeyed your way into access. I have watched you submit when your flesh wanted to strive. I've seen you lower your voice when pride wanted to rise. That humility has echoed through my throne room. It was never about being perfect. It was about being willing. And child, I reward the willing with wonders. You are being spoken of in realms where access is not earned through charisma but through consecration. These are rooms where angels report on the status of assignments, where scrolls are read aloud and judgments are declared. You didn't even know you had an audience. But I've been speaking your name with joy, not as a case to be reviewed but as a vessel to be released. The conversations of heaven are alive with the sound of your journey. Every act of obedience whispered in obscurity has made waves in eternity. You are not just being sent, you are being sent with heavenly endorsement. So walk boldly, not arrogantly but with sacred confidence. You are not knocking on doors anymore. Doors will open because they've heard your name in the Spirit first. You are not striving for exposure. Heaven has already made the announcement. You will find yourself welcomed into spaces that your resume can't explain, but your obedience can. And when it happens, don't downplay it. Don't hide it. Give glory where it's due. This isn't just favor. It's the fruit of being faithful. You are being recognized not because of strategy, but because of surrender. The one who approves you is the same one who has announced you. And what I have announced, no man can silence. Child, lean in and listen with your spirit, for I am revealing something that will shift your entire understanding of this season. Your name is echoing in rooms you haven't yet stepped into. And no, this is not hype or happenstance. It is the divine fulfillment of a pattern I've been weaving since the beginning of time. You see, when I place my hand upon someone, I don't just bless their life. I prepare arenas of impact before their feet ever touch the threshold. What you're sensing in your spirit, that growing pressure, that sacred unease, that subtle anticipation, is confirmation that divine conversations are happening about you. You're being mentioned. You're being seen. And not in circles you sought out, but in rooms I built for you in advance. These are not rooms of influence built by earthly hands. These are realms of divine alignment, where decisions are made that ripple across territories. I am not preparing just a seat at a table. I am constructing a stage of significance. But not for performance, for purpose. You've asked me before, God, do they even see me? And I whispered, I'm speaking your name in places that matter more than applause. You will enter these rooms not because of charisma, not because of charm, not because you knew the right people, but because you knew me. Intimacy is your access key. The secret history we've built in silence. The places you let me into and no one else could see, that's what gave you clearance. This is not a reward for networking. This is an inheritance from kneeling. And child, when I say your name is echoing, I don't mean casually. I mean with weight. I mean with fire. I mean with honor born from heaven's own vocabulary. You didn't force this moment, you were formed for it. Formed in prayer, in surrender, in pain, in praise. And now the echo of your obedience is reverberating across dimensions. Men may have overlooked you, but the echo will find them. Doors will open because your name was carried there by divine mention. You won't have to announce yourself. You won't have to knock loudly or scream for attention. Your spirit has gone ahead of you, and I have confirmed your presence before your arrival. When you walk into what I've prepared, the atmosphere will already recognize you. So prepare, not by strategizing but by staying close. Don't trade intimacy for visibility. The rooms I've assigned you to are too holy for superficial striving. Stay low, stay yielded, stay close. Let me continue to shape you in the quiet, even as I announce you in the spirit. Your time is not just coming, it hath been set. And child, when the doors open, and they will, remember this: you didn't earn the entry. You were summoned by my affection. This is not about your influence. It's about the intimacy we've built. And that is why you will not only enter, you will remain. Beloved, the shift that's taking place in your life right now, this deep, holy, irreversible turning, doesn't come with fireworks or fanfare. It doesn't need a trumpet blast from man because it already has the sound of my spirit behind it. This is not a public post. It is a private promotion. It doesn't require you to tell the world it's happening, because heaven already knows. This shift doesn't begin with a stage. It begins with alignment, and alignment is what you have chosen, even when it cost you more than anyone could see. You aligned when it was uncomfortable, when the pressure to conform felt suffocating, when the temptation to compromise whispered sweet lies in your ear, when going your own way seemed easier and quicker and more immediately rewarding. But you paused. You listened. You obeyed. Not because it felt good, but because you knew me. You chose obedience over ease, stillness over striving. You said yes when no one clapped. You waited when others ran. You fasted when others feasted. And that alignment has spoken louder in my courts than 1,000 proclamations ever could. That's why the shift doesn't need to be broadcast. It has already been recognized in the unseen realm. Let me tell you what alignment really means. It's not about perfection. It's not about getting everything right. It's about placing your spirit under my government. It's about saying, Lord, even when I don't understand, I will still follow. It's about surrendering not just your plans but your pace. And beloved, that's what you've done. You slowed when I said wait. You moved when I said go. Even when your emotions screamed otherwise, your heart bowed low. And that kind of alignment, it opens floodgates. It shifts atmospheres. It authorizes heaven to move on your behalf without resistance. Because when your spirit is aligned, it becomes a magnet for divine movement. So don't look for the dramatic signs. The real sign is the peace under pressure, the clarity where confusion used to reign, the steady inner whisper that says, something has changed. That's the shift. That's the reward for choosing alignment over ambition. And now that you've aligned, you will see things accelerate. Not because you forced them, but because your spirit is positioned to receive. This is not hustle. This is harvest. This is not striving. This is supernatural synchronization. You are aligned. You are seen. You are ready. The shift is already underway. And soon, everything around you will have to catch up to the new alignment within you. My beloved, how many times did you sigh and wonder, why is nothing changing? You walked through days that felt numb, months that felt stuck, and seasons that screamed stagnation. You questioned me in your silence. You whispered, God, did you forget me? And I listened, not offended but moved. I watched as you wrestled to remain faithful while your surroundings remained still. But let me uncover the truth you couldn't see until now. while you waited on movement, I was building something deeper. Roots. Glorious, sacred, hidden roots. You see, your eyes are trained to look for fruit, tangible evidence, visible results, measurable change. But I'm not a surface gardener. I am the architect of the unseen. I build from the bottom up, not the top down. And while you were watching the surface and seeing nothing, I was beneath it, anchoring you in something far more powerful than momentary success. I was digging deep into the soil of your soul, stretching down strength that can't be shaken. I was preparing you to hold what I'm about to release. Because without roots, child, blessings blow away like leaves in the wind. But now, now you have been rooted through pain, through trust, through fierce surrender. Every prayer you thought vanished was actually watering the ground. Every tear you cried in worship was softening the soil. Every yes in the dark, every unseen act of obedience, every hour of waiting, every broken place you surrendered, became nutrients to the foundation. You were never stuck. You were being stabilized. And now, because your roots have gone deep, I can grow something tall. Something that won't sway under pressure or collapse in storm. The reason I allowed the silence wasn't to frustrate you, it was to fortify you. And the deeper the roots, the higher the promise will rise. Child, your root system is ready. And so, the growth will come suddenly, but the support structure has been secretly secured. So hear me clearly. Don't mislabel your past season. It wasn't failure. It wasn't a waste. It was foundation. It was preparation for the weight of the best that's about to bloom. You felt buried, but you were being planted. And what's coming next will not be shallow. It will be rich. It will be sustainable. And it will last. Because the roots I've built in you weren't just for your moment. They are for your legacy. I didn't just grow you. I rooted you in me. And now, the rising begins. Beloved, let me look you in the soul and speak this without hesitation. You did more than make it through. You transformed. The season you just came out of wasn't simply something to endure. It was the furnace that forged you. The pain didn't just leave scars. It left spiritual authority. The trials that came like thieves to rob you ended up revealing the fire that cannot be stolen. I know you felt like breaking. I know you thought it would be the end of you. But child, the version of you standing today is not the same one who entered that storm. You have transformed through the trial, and the transformation is now the trigger for divine release. The world rewards performance, but I reward transformation. And what you've become on the inside has rewritten what I can release on the outside. You didn't manipulate the outcome. You let me mold you in the mess. You surrendered while bleeding. You stayed soft when bitterness tried to harden your heart. You looked up even when the weight tried to crush you. That is what transformation looks like. It's not polished. It's not staged. It's raw and real and forged in fire. And child, I don't waste what is forged. I release it with force. That is why now, nothing can stop what I'm about to pour out over you. It's not tied to transactions or checklists. It's tied to the fact that you let me make you new in the fire. You need to hear this with fresh ears. You didn't fake your way to the finish line. You grew your way there. And that growth has been noted in heaven's courts. I didn't need you to be perfect. I needed you to keep saying yes. To stay when leaving felt more logical. To forgive when vengeance felt justified. To pray when numbness felt more honest. And you did. That's why the dam is breaking. That's why favor is about to flood in ways you didn't even have language for. It's not just compensation. It's not about balancing the pain with blessing. It's about unleashing a wave of purpose that's been tied to who you've become. So, do not brace for a small return. Expect a multiplied unveiling. This is not about restoring what you lost. It's about releasing what was never possible until you were changed. That is why the enemy tried so hard to keep you stuck, because he knew what you would unlock if you transformed. And now, you've crossed over. You are different. And because of that, the release will be different. It will be custom fit for the transformed you. No more begging. No more bargaining. You are not in a transaction. You are in a testimony. And the heavens are about to thunder with the proof that transformation is always the birthplace of the best. Beloved, let me make something abundantly clear. This is not an upgrade. What I'm doing in your life now is not about adding polish to old pain or repackaging what was broken to make it bearable. No, this is not a renovation. This is a divine reset. A complete, supernatural reversal, one so thorough, so full of power, that when you stand in it, even your past will strain to identify you. You're not returning to anything. You're being redefined. I'm not restoring you to who you were before the storm. I'm revealing who I always intended you to become after the fire refined you. I know there were seasons where you begged me, just bring it back, Lord. Bring back the peace, the joy, the strength I used to have. But child, I love you too much to take you backwards. What I've set into motion now is not a return. It's a rebirth. You are not being recycled. You are being recreated. And this reset will be so holy, so irreversible, that your own memory of the former pain will lose its grip. Not because the story didn't happen, but because it no longer holds authority over your identity. I'm not asking you to forget. I am commanding the chains of those memories to break. This reversal isn't just external, it's cellular, spiritual, foundational. The kind of shift that writes not just your life, but your legacy. What's about to emerge from this reset will not resemble the wreckage. You won't have to explain yourself anymore. You won't need to defend how far you've come. People will see it. They will feel it. And yes, some will question it, because they still expect to meet the old version of you, the one defined by delay and disappointment. But they won't find her. They won't find him. Because you have stepped through a divine veil, one that can't be torn by human hands or reversed by human opinion. This reset is so complete that grace has permanently rewritten your name, your narrative, and your trajectory. And what was once your lowest valley will now become your loudest testimony. So, receive this not with hesitation, but with holy boldness. You are not recovering. You are resurrecting. You are not simply walking out of a hard season. You are walking into a rewritten destiny. This isn't just healing. It's holy replacement. Where there was sorrow, I'm planting strength. Where there was confusion, I'm pouring clarity. Where there was loss, I'm releasing limitless abundance. Don't measure what's next by what was. I've already leveled the playing field. What once looked like the end has become the very soil I'm using to grow the best. And child, when this reversal is complete, you won't recognize your life, and neither will the wounds that tried to claim it. My dearest child, listen closely to what I am speaking over you now. There was never a wasted moment. Not a single second of delay went unnoticed. I heard every sigh in the hallway of waiting. I counted every tear that fell in the silent chambers of hope deferred. I saw you glance at the calendar and wonder, when, Lord? When? And even though it looked like nothing was moving, I was never late. Because in my kingdom, every delay comes with a divine date. And beloved, hear me now, that date has arrived. The time stamp of heaven has come into perfect alignment with your name. The clock has struck now. You didn't see the spiritual machinery turning beneath the veil. You didn't feel the invisible alignment in motion. But I was arranging more than just outcomes. I was aligning hearts, territories, systems, and souls. I was orchestrating something that would last, not just something that would satisfy. That's why I allowed the delay. Because if I had released it earlier, it would have arrived into disorder, into unprepared spaces, and to people who hadn't yet been assigned. You thought I was ignoring the cry of your spirit. But child, I was answering with precision. And now the orchestration is complete. The waiting season has reached its expiration. You are not on hold. You are on heaven's exact timeline. What's coming will not trickle in slowly. It will arrive with the force of fulfillment. This is not just time catching up with promise. It's promise overtaking time. And you will begin to see things move so swiftly, so suddenly, that you'll wonder, how did everything change so fast? But I want you to remember, this isn't random. This is the day I wrote into your story before you took your first breath. I marked this hour with holy ink. The set time to favor you has come. Not a minute too early, not a second too late. The delay is no longer your portion. Acceleration is. And child, this isn't just about answered prayers. This is about assigned timing. Your season wasn't forgotten. It was protected. Every not yet was a shield. Every wait was a womb. And now that time has aligned, what comes forth will be mature, powerful, complete. No more fragments. No more partial answers. I don't do things halfway. I release fullness. So prepare your spirit, not with striving, but with surrender. The time is now. The heavens have shifted. The ink has dried. The appointed moment is upon you. And it carries the best I've saved for last. Child, you will soon walk into a manifestation that appears abrupt to the eye, but not to my heart. What the world will call a sudden twist of fortune. I have been orchestrating since the beginning. This kind of shift doesn't spring from human strategy. It flows from sovereign intervention. Just because it looks swift doesn't mean the labor was light. I've been arranging, purposing, depositing favor on your behalf. Favor that does not come by effort, but by my authority. Consider the seed. It seems embedded in silence, unseen beneath dirt and darkness, yet when it sprouts, the shoot bursts through the ground with power. Your moment is not emergent. It's the eruption of my sovereignty. Let me tell you why what looks sudden is actually sacred. You thought you were stuck in time, like your prayers had been swallowed in delay. But while nothing seemed to move, I was moving on your behalf. I was shaping every element of creation to align with your breakthrough. The roads have been laid before your feet. The strategies have been written in heaven. And now, the moment that my heart has guarded so deeply is bursting open. To them it'll look like luck or coincidence, but to you, beloved, it will bear my fingerprint, unmistakable, unmistakably my timing. Pause now and rest. Don't be startled by how swiftly my unfolding grace will shift your reality. Because if you are anchored in my sovereignty, the sudden will feel like reward, not disruption. The quantum leap you're about to experience is born of preparation, not panic. It's born of my purpose, not your performance. So, when it arrives, when doors open, when favor floods, when breakthroughs burst forth, receive it with worship, not wonder. It's not because you finally outworked the delay. It's because my sovereignty is now speaking with speed. You were not abandoned. You were being aligned. And now the moment is here. My beloved, I have not forgotten. Every time you reached out when your old supply felt empty, I saw it. Every time you loved when loneliness was the loudest voice in your soul, that love became a beacon to me. When you served even though your spirit felt worn out, your service became a tapestry in heaven's record. And yes, when your soul was bleeding, every broken drop became an imprint of grace I'm about to multiply. I didn't just observe your love. I recorded it, archived it, and I'm now repaying it in ways you couldn't imagine. No whisper was wasted. No tear was unnoticed. Your generosity when you had nothing to give. Your mercy when you wanted to withdraw. Your kindness when the world had thrown stones. You were sowing seeds of eternity. And they took root, not just in situations, but in angels' hearts and in the council of heaven. And now, when I deliver restoration, it won't just be compensation. It will be the harvest of every seed you planted in the seasons of drought. The love you gave faintly, I will return as fullness. The service you offered silently, I will honor publicly. And the broken things you offered to me, they will become the very things that bear my glory. Remember that every late-night prayer, every unpaid act of service, every quiet kindness, you offered me more than I asked. You sowed from a place of fragile abundance, and I honored that. Now, in this season, I release not just restoration, but revelation. I will illuminate every moment you loved when it wasn't easy, every bridge you built while bleeding. They will not be overlooked. They will be highlighted in your story. And you will stand, bowed not in pain, but in gratitude, seeing that every act of love, service, and sacrifice has become divine currency. The record is win. The repayment is here, and it carries the weight of my eternal memory. My beloved, I know the days when the weight felt unbearable, when the sky was silent, and your strength seemed too fragile to carry what life demanded. But what you called a test, I was calling a transformation. You thought I was measuring your endurance. I was actually building it. The fire didn't arrive to burn you. It came to forge steel into your soul. What others interpreted as hardship, I called holy conditioning. You didn't just survive. You were being sculpted, carved from the inside out into someone who could carry glory without cracking. The shaking wasn't your undoing. It was your underpinning. I let what was shallow fall away so that what is sacred could rise. I allowed what you leaned on to collapse, so that your spirit would lean fully into me. You thought you were crumbling, but I was constructing something that couldn't be taken from you. I watched as you fell to your knees, not in defeat, but in divine dependence. And from that low place, I raised a warrior, a vessel who doesn't need applause to stand strong, a heart that cannot be bribed or broken because it's been branded with my strength. You used to question your own capacity. You don't anymore. That isn't arrogance. It's awareness. You've tasted what it means to endure. And now, when I place more in your hands, you won't drop it. Because I've built muscles of faith where there once was weakness. When storms come again, and yes, some will, you won't panic. Because you've seen me anchor you once, and now that anchor is internal. You've become resilient, not just in discipline, but in discernment. You don't flinch at pressure anymore. You move through it like someone who knows that power lives within them. So celebrate this version of you, not just because you're stronger, but because that strength was born from fire-pressed intimacy. This is not a story of survival. This is the unveiling of supernatural empowerment. And it's only the beginning. I built you for more than comfort. I built you for conquest. And the strength you carry now, it is my own spirit alive within you. Move forward, not as someone who might make it, but as someone who was made for it. Child, what I'm birthing through this word isn't just breakthrough. It's a movement. You've just stepped into a moment of release, but now I'm asking, will you help release this same fire into others? When you give, you help carry my voice beyond walls, across nations, into forgotten hearts. I said give, and it will be given to you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. That's not just scripture. It's a living decree over you now. Your seed becomes a signal to heaven. I believe this word is alive. I believe it will multiply. You are not funding a video. You are fueling a prophetic river that heals dry places. Move now, sow into the fire, and watch what I do with your obedience. I need you to hear me with clarity. What I am releasing into your hands in this hour is not a random act of blessing. It is not a lottery win from heaven. It is not favor by accident. This is inheritance. This is what I wrote into your bloodline before you breathed your first breath. This is what I preserved for you, locked behind time, until your obedience aligned with my blueprint. You are not being gifted like a stranger receiving generosity. You are being entrusted as a son, as a daughter, as one who carries my name and walks under my covenant. This release has a way to it. It's not light. It's not trendy. It's not for the crowd. It is sacred succession, the kind of blessing that rests on those who have been refined in hidden places. I did not select you because you were perfect. I chose you because you were faithful. Because when the inheritance seemed invisible, you still prayed. When the delay stretched long, you did curse me. You clung to me. And now, I trust you with more than provision. I trust you with purpose-laced abundance. I trust you with breakthrough that will touch others. I trust you with opportunities that carry eternal significance. This is not just your blessing. This is my plan made visible. Be careful how you carry it. Not with fear, but with reverence. Don't downplay what I'm placing in your care. This release was not cheaply won. It was purchased through every moment you died to your own understanding and chose to trust me instead. It's bigger than a promotion. It's larger than a check. It is an inheritance of influence that will ripple through people, places, and generations. The blessing is not the end goal. The blessing is the tool. And I have chosen you, yes, you, to wield it with wisdom, with compassion, with holy fire. So walk as one entrusted. Walk as one seen. Walk as one who understands that inheritance changes how you move. You don't beg for what's already yours. You don't strive for what's been sealed in heaven. You receive. You steward. You carry. His release isn't a reward for works. It's a revelation of lineage. You are heir to the promise, and now that promise is alive in your present. Let the world be confused if they must. But you will know in your spirit, this wasn't luck. This wasn't random. This was always mine. I know how hard it is to watch a door shut, especially when you prayed it would stay open. When the opportunity slipped away, the friendship faded, the relationship fractured, with a job to solve it. I heard your spirit whisper, "Was that my fault, God?" Let me speak directly into that wound. No, it was not punishment. It was protection. I didn't close the door to leave you stranded. I closed it so the weight of what I'm about to release in your life wouldn't be contaminated, delayed, or diminished. I know what you don't. I see what you can. And where you saw rejection, I was installing divine redirection. You must understand, not every door is designed to take you into your destiny. Some doors were only meant for a season, and you've outgrown them, not because you failed, but because you've transformed. The rooms you once walked in without friction are no longer suited for the anointing I'm placing upon you now. You were graced to endure the old, but now you're being called to carry something new. And if I allowed the old doors to remain open, they would steal your energy, blur your focus, and compromise your capacity. I am preserving what I've planted in you. And sometimes, preservation looks like holy exits. So don't curse what clothed. Bless it. Release it. Walk away without resentment, because I never shut something without preparing something better. What's ahead is not just different, it's divinely designed. New doors will open not because you knock louder, but because your spirit now carries the key of alignment. When you step forward, they will recognize you. They will not resist you, because you will not be entering with desperation. You will be entering with divine assignment. You won't need to perform for acceptance. You won't have to shrink to fit. The space I'm leading you into has been waiting, praying, groaning, for the very version of you I've just finished shaping. So rest your heart. The door didn't close to punish you. It closed to preserve the promise. You won't have to ask, why did it end? Much longer. Soon, you'll be saying, thank you, God, that it did. Because what I'm about to do through you requires protection from distraction, insulation from imitation, and freedom from limitation. The season is about access to destiny, not attachment to history. And you, child, are ready to walk through what I'm opening without carrying what I've already closed. I know how easy it is to brace yourself for disappointment when life begins to shift. You've lived through so many false starts, so many promises that felt real, only to see them dissolve before they could develop. That's why your heart sometimes asks me, is this just another repeat? And here is my resounding answer, no. This is not a cycle. This is not a loop. This is not a recycled blessing. This is unprecedented territory. What I'm doing in your life now has never been seen before, not because you finally earned it, but because your obedience has created new pathways that didn't exist until you chose me, again and again, even when it cost you everything. I'm not reusing old strategies. I'm not breathing on outdated promises. I am birthing the new. And this new isn't general, it's custom fit. Tailored to your wounds. Designed for your process. Aligned with your current level of maturity. You didn't just believe your way here. You obeyed your way here. You submitted through silence. You waited when your emotions screamed for resolution. You didn't run when it got painful. You didn't retaliate when you were misunderstood. You grew. You yielded. And now you are stepping into a season written specifically for the version of you that emerged through that furnace. The old version wouldn't have survived it. But the version standing now. You're ready. This is why things feel unfamiliar, even slightly uncomfortable, not because they are wrong but because they're new. Don't let your flesh talk you into fear. Let your spirit recognize the fresh oil I'm pouring. You've never walked in this dimension of clarity before. You've never carried this level of authority. The doors, the voices, the assignments, they look different because you're no longer in survival. You are in sacred stewardship. I'm not just handing you things, I'm trusting you with territory. You're not circling the mountain again. You are ascending. This is the next level, not in hype, but in holiness. And it will require new habits, new rhythms, and a new level of dependence on me. So stop expecting a repeat. You have never been here before. And because of that, your expectation must shift. Your language must rise. Your prayers must expand. I am writing a new chapter, and I need you to stop rehearsing old lines. The grief, the waiting, the refining, All of it was real. But now, I'm turning the page. And the next paragraph will not read like the last. This is not recovery. This is revelation. And what I reveal now will change how you walk, because you will know, deep in your bones, I've never been here before. And God wrote this place just for me. Beloved, the shaking you went through, the upheaval, the tearing, the unraveling, it did not strip you of your destiny. It revealed what could never go with you into what I am bringing. Let me tell you this plainly. Your promise is intact. Not just surviving. Not just hanging by a thread. It has been secured. And not by your own strength, but by my spirit. The shaking wasn't an attack to destroy. It was an activation to strip away anything that would sabotage the release. You saw people leave. You felt opportunities slip through your fingers. But what actually fell wasn't your future. It was the fear that had disguised itself as stability. The fear that told you to play small. The fear that told you to question your worth. The fear that said, maybe I heard wrong. I shook it out of you. Yes, I did. Not to punish you, but to purify you. Because the promise I'm releasing is weighty. It carries generational consequence. It holds kingdom power. And I love you too much to let fear ride along for the journey. Fear cannot steward what I'm about to place in your hands. Doubt cannot occupy the same room as destiny. So I let the winds come. I let the ground move. Not to push you away, but to push everything off of you that would have diluted your courage, blurred your vision, or compromised your calling. And yes, it hurt. Yes, it looked like loss. But oh child, it was a divine clearing, a holy unrooting. And what's left standing now is unshakable. You are not weaker after the storm, you are stronger. You are not empty, you are refined. What you're carrying now has depth, maturity, fire. You've learned how to stand in stillness when the ground gives way. You've learned how to hear my voice when everything else is noise. You've learned how to move not from fear, but from faith. And that, my child, is the evidence that the shaking worked. You don't flinch at silence anymore. You don't panic when you feel the shift. Because something inside you has been anchored deeper than you knew. And now, the promise I've spoken over you, it's not just hovering. It's ready. And you are finally capable of carrying it without compromise. So take heart, and stop mourning what fell away. It was never meant to stay. And what remains is what is real. The promise is still yes. The purpose is still intact. The word I spoke over you is not changed. It has only been clarified. And now, as the dust settles, you will see clearly. The shaking didn't undo you. It'll eat you. And the fear that once had a grip on you, it has no voice here. Because what's ahead isn't built on what can be taken. It's built on what can't be shaken. And child, you've been shaken into strength. My precious one, I know the voice of delay has tormented your thoughts. I know the whispers that come late at night, telling you, you're too late. You missed your moment. You waited too long. But let me silence that lie forever. You didn't miss it. You are not behind. You are not late. You are exactly where I need you to be. The enemy wanted you to believe that the opportunity passed, that the promise slipped through your hands. But what he didn't know is that I am the God of perfect timing, and what I've prepared for you was never meant to arrive before now. If I had released it earlier, it would have broken you. But now, you are ready. Now is the moment where your preparation meets my divine acceleration. The timeline of man is built around pressure and panic. But my timeline is built around purpose and precision. I don't miss appointments. I don't forget my word. And I certainly don't base your future on your failures. Every detour you walked, every delay you survived, every setback you endured, I have woven it all into the plan. There's not a single wasted moment. I didn't discard your journey. I sanctified it. What you call lost years, I call planned in years. What you think you missed, I have preserved. It's not gone. It's guarded. And now that your spirit has matured, now that your faith has grown roots, I am releasing the arrival of what was always yours. And yes, it's going to look like it came late. But when it hits your life, you'll realize it arrived just in time. You'll see how I lined up relationships, finances, healing, and territory in the exact sequence necessary for you to walk in fullness. Not frustration. Fullness. You haven't missed your turn. You've been moved into perfect position. Even when you thought you'd failed me, I was faithfully setting the table. This feast is for you. And not the version of you that existed 5 years ago. The version that stands right now. The version that has learned. The version that has leaned in. The version that's been broken and built up again. So breathe deep and release the lie. You are not behind. You are not disqualified. You are not an afterthought. You are on my clock. And my clock is always on time. And now, as my divine countdown reaches its appointed moment, you will step into a manifestation that didn't come late. It came when you were finally ready to hold it. The delay was not denial. It was design. And child, now it is done. Child, you've asked quietly, again and again, why have I been overlooked? In rooms where others were chosen, you stood back, wondering if I had forgotten your name. In moments when you knew you carried something valuable, something holy, you stayed silent, not out of fear, but out of obedience. You submitted to the shadows, even when your gifts burned to be seen. But listen now. You weren't abandoned. You were protected. I hid you not because you lacked value, but because your value was too sacred to be mishandled prematurely. Your concealment with my covering. You weren't hidden in punishment, you were hidden in preparation. I didn't let them see you because they would have tried to use you instead of honor you. I didn't let the world applaud you too early, because I needed your identity anchored in me, not in their approval. I watched you develop in the hidden place. I shaped your character where no one was clapping. I let the wilderness become your womb, the place of gestation for what is now ready to emerge. And now, child, the moment has come. I'm revealing you. Not for spotlight, not for ego, but for assignment. I am calling you forward because the assignment I placed within you has reached full term. But make no mistake, this unveiling is not for personal promotion. It's for kingdom deployment. You're not being called into visibility for validation. You're being released into visibility for impact. What I placed in you isn't decoration. It's weaponry. And now, your voice will carry weight. Not because it's louder, but because it's been marinated in my presence. Your hands will build. Your words will shift atmospheres. Your feet will step into territory that's been waiting for your arrival. And when they see you, when the doors open and the platforms expand, they'll think you came out of nowhere. But you and I will know, you were born in the hidden place. You were refined in the secret place. You were revealed in the fullness of time. So do not shrink when I lift you. Do not apologize for the authority I'm placing on you now. You're not self-promoting. You're heaven sent. And the ones I'm calling you to reach, they won't just be impressed. They'll be transformed. Because what you're carrying isn't noise, it's oil. And this oil could only be crushed out of you in private. So now, go forth, not as someone desperate to be seen, but as one fully seen by me. This revealing is not for applause. It's for assignment. And your assignment has now come due. There were seasons, beloved, when the weight on your shoulders felt unbearable. Nights where the ache in your spirit was so loud, you couldn't find language for it. You carried questions you didn't ask out loud. You bore responsibility that others never noticed. And you wondered, why me, Lord? Why this weight? Let me answer now, not with mystery, but with mercy. The burden was not a curse. It was a blueprint. I didn't let you carry it to break you. I let you carry it because I was showing you what needed to be built. What kept you up at night wasn't just pain. It was divine preview. What broke your heart was what I designed you to restore. The heaviness, the empathy, the insight, the deep spiritual sensitivity. Those weren't side effects. They were assignments being born. Every ache carried architecture. Every tear became strategy. You felt what others missed because I gave you the ability to see what was broken before it shattered. And now, child, I'm shifting you. The burden that once bowed your back will now become the blueprint you use to build healing for others. You're not just a survivor. You're a strategist. You're not just a carrier of pain. You're a carrier of solutions. And what felt like a wound will now function as a well. I'm giving you tools you didn't know were forming. I'm releasing wisdom you didn't realize you were learning. Because carrying that weight gave you insight no textbook could provide. You know what it feels like to walk through the fire and come out with instructions. You know how to build a bridge because you became one for others. And now, I'm giving you permission, not just to heal, but to construct. To architect spaces, communities, ministries, businesses, movements that are saturated with empathy, authority, and power. And the blueprint. It was written in your burden. It was drawn in your tears. It was encoded in every season you thought I was silent. So now, look back, not with regret, but with reverence. Because the weight you carried has become a map for others. They'll walk lighter because you walked first. They'll find the way because you carried the burden that marked the path. And now, child, I release you to build. Not with exhaustion, but with revelation. You have seen what's missing. Now you will create what will fill the void. Your burden was never punishment. It was a blueprint. And what you build next will be more than beautiful. It will be breakthrough for generations. I know the ache of watching years slip through your fingers. The ache of wondering, did I waste my best seasons? I saw you look over your shoulder, measuring your current moment against what you thought you should have accomplished by now. You counted lost years, broken cycles, missed opportunities, and called it failure. But let me reframe it with the truth of heaven. You did not lose time. You simply walked through my divine detour. And while you felt like you were behind, I was keeping time for you. Every day you thought was wasted, I was weaving it into a timeline of redemption. I'm not just restoring what you missed. I'm redeeming it. And when I redeem, I don't return things as they were. I return them better, brighter, and bolder. This is not about giving you more years. It's about giving you the fruit of what you should have had multiplied in less time. You've reached the moment where time is being compressed under favor. What would have taken others 10 years, you will now do in 2. What should have cost you decades of toil will now arrive on the wings of divine acceleration. Because I'm not bound by earthly time. I bend it. And I am bending it for you. You are not too late. You are right on time. Because I've reserved blessings with your name on them, not expired, not forgotten, but protected. I delayed their delivery not because you were undeserving, but because I needed to prepare both you and the moment. And now they are arriving on schedule, not yours, but mine. And when they come, they will come swiftly, completely, overwhelmingly, and your soul will know, God kept the time I thought I lost. So stop mourning the calendar. Stop grieving what they said you should have achieved. The enemy wanted you to feel disqualified by delay. But what he didn't know is that I am the master of time, and I don't need much to do much. I will do more in the next year than you saw in the last decade. And when it happens, you'll realize the delay was never a denial. It was me, preserving the best, and preparing you to walk into it without striving, without shame. This is your redemption arc, and I wrote it long before you ever felt late. You are nearing the culmination of something sacred. You're not in the middle anymore. You're not stuck. You're not circling the same mountain. You are in the final stretch, and while that may sound like the easiest part, it's often where the battle sharpens. Not because you're far from promise, but because you're so close. And I need you to hear me with clarity. This moment demands focus. Not fear, not frenzy. Focus. Because what I'm delivering through you is not ordinary. It is fragile, holy, and explosive in impact. It must be carried with deep reverence. You don't birth something sacred with divided attention. You don't steward breakthrough while flirting with distraction. And this season, more than any before it, will require you to guard your gates, what you hear, what you watch, who you trust, what you entertain. This delivery is too precious to be diluted. I've impregnated your spirit with divine potential, and just like a mother protects her womb in the final hours, you must now protect the womb of your assignment. Do not be lured into battles I haven't called you to fight. Do not waste your voice defending what I'm about to prove with power. Stay locked in. Stay low in my presence. Don't let emotional turbulence trick you into giving up your position. Because the enemy sees the crown forming. He knows the promise is crowning. That's why warfare has intensified, not because you're off course, but because you're almost there. But this last stretch is not about fighting harder. It's about focusing deeper. It's about leaning in, listening sharper, walking softer, and trusting me to do what only I can do. And I will do it. You just carry it. And when the moment comes, when the spiritual water breaks, when the push feels unbearable, I will be there, delivering through you what the world has not seen before. And you will hold it. Not in panic, but in awe. And all those months of internal wrestling will make sense. You'll know, this required focus, because this was never just a blessing. It was a holy breakthrough that had to be handled like prophecy in motion. This is not the time to be casual. This is the time to be consecrated. Because what you're about to carry out of this season is going to change not just your life, but lives beyond you. My child, this is not a theory. This is not a prophecy for the distant future. This is not something reserved for another, more qualified, more visible, more perfect person. This word is for you. Right here, right now. And I need you to lean in with every fiber of your being, because what I'm saying is not symbolic. It's literal. It's present. It's already in motion. The best is being released. Not next week, not next month, not when you feel more ready. Today, this very day, heaven's vaults have opened, and what I've stored for you is now being delivered with angelic urgency and sovereign precision. You've waited long. You've endured much. But you didn't miss your moment. You've arrived in it. And the hesitation you felt, is this real? Tremble in your spirit, is not doubt. It's the awe of standing in the manifestation of what I whispered to you long ago. I'm not preparing to do it. I'm doing it. And not halfway. Not in fractions. Not in installments. I'm doing it in fullness. This release will carry such confirmation that you won't need to question whether it's from me. You will know, because it will bear my signature. The doors that open will say, "Only God." The favor that finds you will say, "This had to be heaven." And the joy that floods your soul will carry a peace that needs no explanation. Child, don't brace for disappointment. I am not teasing you. I am not dangling breakthrough like a carrot before your weary spirit. I am delivering it. Today. And it's not just a gift. It's a fulfillment. This release is measured to the inch of what you've carried, what you've wept over, what you've surrendered in secret. I am not throwing you a blessing. I am enthroning you in purpose. And the weight of this moment, the glory in it, is not meant to scare you. It's meant to show you that I never forgot you, never overlooked you, never retracted my word over you. I was waiting for this exact day, and now that it's here, everything shifts. So walk boldly. Don't peek through the door I'm opening, step through it. Don't question the package, receive it. Don't delay in gratitude. Praise me now, while it's still forming in front of you, because the release has already begun. And when you look back on this day, you'll say, that was the moment. That was the day the heavens move. That was the hour my best was released. It won't be a memory of longing. It will be a landmark of fulfillment. And the best, it isn't just coming. It's here. The delivery is on your doorstep. The confirmation is in your spirit. The breakthrough is now. And child, it's signed by me. The best has been released today, and you've caught it. But now will you carry it forward? Because there are souls who won't see this unless you help send it. When you give, you are not giving to a person. You are giving to the voice that awakens something eternal in you today. You are planting seed in fertile, prophetic ground, and I will water it with favor, accelerate it with fire, and multiply it like the loaves and fishes in my hands. I said, those who sow in tears will reap in joy, and the joy of those who will encounter me through this message will be added to your account. This is not support, it's partnership with heaven. Click the link, sow your seed, and carry the word forward with me. Now, beloved, I want you to put faith to your fingertips. Right now. Don't wait. Don't delay. I want you to declare it below. The best is being released to me today. When you type those words, you're not just commenting, you're activating alignment with what heaven is pouring out. This is not a someday promise. This is your now moment. And as you speak it, the atmosphere around your life will begin to shift, because life and death are in the power of your tongue, and today, you choose life. So write it. Speak it. Believe it. Because the best isn't coming, it's already been sent. And as you declare that truth, stop. Just for a moment, pause what you are doing and make space to receive. Hear me, not with your ears, but with the deepest part of your heart. My words to you today are not a gentle whisper you might mistake for the wind. No, today my voice comes to you as a divine decree, a sound powerful enough to shake the very foundations of everything that has troubled you. Feel that. It is the ground beneath your circumstances beginning to shift. I am speaking directly into your reality, right now. I see you, sitting there with that knot in your stomach, thinking about the bills that are due, the unspoken tension in your home, the pressure at your job that feels like a weight you can no longer carry. You have felt overlooked, stuck, and you have wondered in the quiet of the night, when, Lord, When will things change for me? My beloved, your win is right now. This is an appointed time. The theologians call it a Kairos moment, but I want you to understand it more simply. This is your moment. This is the sacred intersection where my eternal power cuts through the noise of your daily life to meet you exactly where you are. I am interrupting the cycle of your worry, the routine of your struggle, the scheduled programming of your pain. I am breaking in to announce a supernatural shift, a changing of the guard over your life. You feel the urgency in my voice. It is because the grace for this monumental release is for today. Not tomorrow. Not next week when you feel more ready or more worthy. The power, the blessing, the breakthrough. It is all available to you in this very moment. Do not postpone what you are hearing. Do not tell yourself you will come back to this later. Later will not have the same anointing. The door I'm opening is open now. Breathe in. Can you feel it? The very air around you is different. The spiritual atmosphere is charged with my presence, crackling with divine electricity, making the impossible suddenly, breathtakingly possible. That mountain of death that has been suffocating you, it can be moved. That sickness the doctors gave no hope for, it can be healed. That broken relationship that seems beyond repair, it can be restored. Every angel I have ever assigned to your life, to watch over you, to protect you, to assist you, they are on high alert. Imagine them, standing at attention, surrounding you, their eyes fixed on you, waiting your response to my word. They have their orders. They have their assignments. But they are waiting for your yes. They are waiting for the faith in your heart to connect with the power in my voice. This is your moment of decision. Will you believe me? Will you receive this urgent word I am speaking over you? This is not a test, it is an invitation. An emergency broadcast of hope, sent from my heart directly to yours. Everything is aligned. Everything is ready. The best is being released today. My child, let us speak plainly about what this best truly is, because I know the world has given you a very different definition. You have been taught to chase after a best that is measured in bank accounts, job titles, and the approval of others. You see it on your screens, the filtered lives, the perfect families, the success that seems so effortless for everyone else. And in the quiet moments, you have compared your life to that illusion and felt that you are falling short. You think the best means a life free from trouble, a bigger house, a more impressive career, a body that never aches. But that is the world's fragile and fleeting definition, a hollow imitation of the glorious reality I am releasing to you today. Understand this, my beloved, I am not just offering you an upgrade on your current life. I am not simply patching the holes in your worn-out reality. I am offering you a complete and divine exchange. I am asking you to hand me the ashes of your life. Yes, all of them. Give me the dust of your disappointments, the cinders of your failed relationships, the gray remains of dreams you long ago gave up on. In return, I will give you my beauty, which is not a superficial covering but a deep, internal transformation that will radiate from your very soul. It is the beauty of wholeness, of a heart that is no longer fractured by its past. This best that I speak of is the release of my peace. You know that constant, low-grade anxiety that hums just beneath the surface of your thoughts. The worry that wakes you at 3 a.m. The fear of the next phone call, the next bill, the next piece of bad news. My peace comes in and silences that noise. It is a peace that the world cannot understand because it does not depend on your circumstances being perfect. It will guard your heart and your mind like a loyal soldier standing watch, refusing to let fear and turmoil break through. This best is also the release of my joy. Not the temporary happiness that comes from a good day at work or a pleasant surprise, but a resilient, unshakable joy. It will become your strength bubbling up from within you, even on days when your body is tired and your heart is heavy. It will be the fuel that allows you to keep moving forward when logic tells you to give up. More than anything, the best I am releasing today is the profound, unshakable revelation of who you truly are. For too long you have listened to the whispers of the enemy and the loud accusations of your own past, and you have worn labels that were never meant for you. Failure, unworthy, overlooked, not enough. I am stripping those false labels from you right now. The best I give you is the undeniable, deeply felt knowledge that you are my beloved child, secure in my love, chosen by my grace, and empowered by my own spirit. This release is my goodness becoming something you can feel and experience every day, a tangible taste of heaven, right here on your earth. I have seen you in your season of waiting, my precious one. I have not been distant or unaware. I have sat with you in the long nights when tears you thought had run dry began to fall once more. I know the unique ache of the waiting room of life. You have been waiting for the test results, waiting for the prodigal child to come home, waiting for the bitterness in a relationship to soften, waiting for the breakthrough that always seemed to be just around the corner, yet never arrived. This season of waiting has felt like a desolate, endless winter. You have seen others move forward, celebrating their harvests while you felt stuck, your own ground remaining frozen and barren. I know the frustration that has built within you, the questions you have wrestled with, wondering if I had forgotten the promises I whispered to your heart. Let me assure you, every moment of your patience, every tear you have cried, has served a profound purpose. It has deepened your roots, strengthened your faith, and carved out a greater capacity within you to hold the blessings I am about to pour out. But today, right now, I am speaking this over you. That long night has served its purpose. The morning of rejoicing is not just coming, it is dawning now. Look. See the first rays of light breaking over the horizon of your circumstances. I declare with all the authority of heaven that the spirit of delay is broken over your life and over your household. That invisible force that has held you back, that has created obstacle after obstacle, that has made every step forward feel like a battle, its assignment is canceled. Its power is shattered. You are no longer held in a pattern of postponement. Every promise that has seemed dormant in your life, every dream that has felt asleep, is now being activated by my command. Think of them as seeds that you planted long ago, watering them with your hope and your prayers. Today I am speaking awake to those seeds, and you will be astounded at the speed with which they will now burst through the soil and into manifestation. Your patience has been a sweet and beautiful aroma to me. It was a testament of your trust when you could not see the path ahead. And now, you will see the reward for that trust. The crushing frustration of stagnation is being replaced by the divine momentum of my spirit. Where you once felt like you were pushing against a locked door, you will now feel as if you are being carried forward by a mighty, unstoppable river. So hear me, my child. Consider the waiting period officially and irrevocably over. You are now stepping out of the waiting room and entering your season of fulfillment. The wait is finished. Your new beginning starts today. Prepare yourself, my child, for what I am about to do. I want you to picture in your mind massive, celestial floodgates, gates that have held back a vast reservoir of blessings designated specifically for you. These are not new blessings I have just created. They are blessings that have been stored up, reserved, and sealed until this precise, appointed moment. Today, with the authority of my own name, I am turning the key and commanding those floodgates to be opened. A deluge of my goodness, provision, and favor is now being released from the heavenly realms directly into your life. You need to understand that many of these blessings were contended for. While you were going about your days, a spiritual battle was raging over what is rightfully yours. The enemy, the devourer, fought to hinder your harvest, to block your breakthrough, to keep you from stepping into the fullness of what I have for you. But I am telling you today that battle has been won. My angelic hosts have driven back the forces of darkness, and the supply lines from heaven to you are now completely clear and secure. Listen to this, for it is deeply personal. Your name, your specific situation, your silent prayers, they have been brought before my throne. I have seen your faithfulness. I have heard your cries, and I am personally signing off on your breakthrough. The official decree hath been made in the courts of heaven. The case is closed, and the verdict is in your favor. Inheritances, both spiritual and natural, that have been tangled in disputes or held up by unseen forces are now being loosed. This includes the spiritual gifts I have placed in your bloodline, the wisdom of your praying ancestors, and also the natural resources, finances, and opportunities that have been unjustly withheld from you. I am severing the knots of contention and cutting the red tape of delay. I am canceling every single assignment of the devourer who sought to steal your joy, your health, and your provision. But I am not a God who simply restores. I am a God who multiplies. I am not just giving you back what was lost or stolen. Prepare for an overflow. I am restoring to you more than you ever had in the first place. My blessing for you will be so abundant that your life will not be able to contain it. It will spill out from you, touching your family, your community, and everyone you encounter, as a testament to the extravagant goodness of your God. My child, I want you to stand up in your spirit. For too long, you have been wearing the wrong clothes. You have been draped in the heavy, stained garments of your past, garments of shame, of insecurity, of inadequacy. They are heavy, they are restricting, and they are not who you are. To date, I am removing those old clothes from you. I am personally clothing you with new garments, and upon your shoulders, I am placing a new mantle. This is a mantle of undeniable authority in the Spirit. It is woven from my own strength and lined with my own righteousness. When you wear it, you carry the authority of my kingdom with you wherever you go. You will no longer walk into situations feeling weak or intimidated. You will walk in with the quiet confidence of one who knows who they are and who they belong to. And with this mantle comes my favor, a supernatural grace that will fundamentally change how the world interacts with you. This is what my favor will do. You will walk into rooms, and my presence upon you will speak for you before you ever utter a word. It will precede you like a gentle, warm light, softening hearts and preparing the way. People who were once hostile or indifferent to you will suddenly become cooperative and helpful, and they will not even know why. Doors that were firmly shut to you, doors to promotions, to opportunities, to relationships, will now swing open wide on their own accord as you approach. You will not have to force them or strive for them. My favor is the master key that unlocks what human effort cannot. And do you remember all the times you felt invisible? The times your ideas were dismissed, your contributions overlooked? That season is over. People who once looked right through you will now seek you out. They will recognize the profound wisdom I have placed within you and will desire your counsel and your insight. My favor will act as a divine shield and a divine magnet. It will repel opposition, silencing the voice of accusation and pushing back the schemes of jealousy. At the same time, it will attract divine opportunities, the right people, and the perfect resources directly into your path. You must understand, this new way of living is not about you trying harder. It is about you surrendering more deeply. You will cease to operate in your own limited strength and will learn to live and work under an open heaven of my grace, where my help, my wisdom, and my power flow down to you continually and without restriction. Put on your new mantle. It is a perfect fit. My child, pause before you turn away. I have only just begun to open my heart to you, and it would grieve me deeply if you were to leave now, just as I am about to pour out the deepest healing. The anointing for this moment is flowing, and to step away would be to step out from under the waterfall of my grace. Do not forsake the fullness of what I have for you. Stay with me. Now, listen carefully, for I am releasing something into the very fabric of your being that will change how you approach every challenge and every dream. I am unlocking and releasing a divine flow of creative miracles into your life. When I say creativity, I need you to expand your understanding beyond just painting a picture or writing a song, though it certainly includes that. This is a release of my divine imagination, my supernatural ingenuity. It is for the business owner who has been staring at the same problem for months. I am giving you a market-disrupting strategy right now. It is for the parent who is at their wit's end with a struggling child. I am giving you a new way to connect, a key to unlock their heart. It is for the student, the mechanic, the scientist, the caregiver. I am releasing heavenly solutions for earthly problems directly into your spirit. I am downloading ideas from my mind into yours, ideas that will not only solve complex issues but will create generational wealth and leave a legacy of blessing. For a long time, there have been barren places in your mind, areas that felt dry, uninspired, and clouded with fog. You have felt a block, and an inability to see the way forward. Today, I am sending my spirit like a refreshing rain upon those dry places. The barren ground of your mind is becoming fertile soil for my divine inspiration. You will feel new thoughts, new concepts, and new visions begin to sprout effortlessly. And this will change your entire perspective. You will begin to see problems not as dead-end obstacles, but as holy opportunities, as blank canvases upon which I can display my glory through you. Every challenge you face will become an invitation for a creative miracle. So, hear my command to you in this season. It is time to write. It is time to build. It is time to create. It is time to innovate as never before. Pick up the tool you laid down. Open the notebook you closed. Revisit the project you abandoned. My anointing is on your efforts now. I am breathing my life into your work, and what I am releasing through you will not be ordinary. It will be a sign and a wonder to many. Your solutions will be so wise, your art so beautiful, your strategy so effective, that people will look at what you have done and they will know, without a doubt, that it could not have come from you alone. It will be an undeniable testimony of my power working in and through my beloved child. My child, come closer. Let us talk about the wounds that no one else sees. You have become an expert at concealing them. You put on a brave face for your family, a professional one at your job. But I see the hidden injuries of your soul. I see the tender place in your heart that still aches from the sharp words of a parent spoken years ago. I see the scar left by the betrayal of a friend you trusted with your deepest secrets. I feel the silent, heavy grief you carry for a loss that you were told you should be over by now. I see the shame from a past mistake that coils in your stomach whenever you are reminded of it. These are the deep-seated wounds, and you have carried them for so long that their weight feels normal to you. But today, my spirit is moving as a healing balm, a gentle, warm, and soothing anointing that is seeping past all your defenses. It is not a harsh disinfectant that stings. It is a restorative oil that is designed to heal the deepest layers of your being without causing more pain. Feel it now, my love descending upon those broken places, bringing a peace that you have not felt in a very long time. You must understand that these traumas from your past have done more than just hurt you. They have actively dictated your present. They have been the invisible author of your fears, writing scripts of self-sabotage and mistrust into your life. They have taught you to build walls to keep people out, to expect disappointment, to flinch at the prospect of true intimacy. But right now, in this sacred moment, I am declaring that those old traumas are losing their power over you. I am cutting the cords that have tethered your present reality to your past pain. The cause and effect cycle is being broken, and I am taking the story of your life, with all of its painful chapters, and I am rewriting the narrative. Your story will no longer be defined by what was done to you, but by what I am doing in you. The place of deep pain is going to become the source of your greatest strength, a powerful testimony of my redeeming grace. The scar will remain, not as a mark of shame, but as undeniable proof that you were wounded and you were healed. And as part of this healing, I am releasing a river of forgiveness to flow through you. You don't have to strain or strive to forgive those who hurt you. You don't have to pretend the pain wasn't real. Just open your heart to receive the fullness of my love and forgiveness for you. And as you do, you will find that forgiveness for others, and even for yourself, will begin to flow out of you effortlessly. The chains of generational heartache, the patterns of anger, addiction, and sorrow passed down your family line, they are breaking now. The buck stops with you. I am restoring your emotional health and building within you a new foundation of profound, unshakable inner peace. Let us now turn our attention to the pressure that has been squeezing the very life out of you. Your finances. For too long, a spirit of lack and poverty has been an unwelcome tenant in your mind, whispering its insidious lies in your ear day and night. It is the voice that tells you there's never enough, the one that makes your heart race when you look at your bank account, the one that fills you with dread when an unexpected bill arrives. It has kept you in a cycle of fear, making decisions based on scarcity instead of faith. Well, today I am serving that spirit an official, divine eviction notice. Its lease in your life has expired. Its power to torment you is hereby revoked. You will no longer be a slave to the fear of not enough, because you are a child of the God who is more than enough. My provision for you is not limited by the economy, your job, or your own efforts. My storehouses are eternal and they are inexhaustible. I am not just sending a one-time check. I am releasing divine strategies and opening new revenue streams that you have not yet considered. Pay attention in the coming days. I will give you ideas that seem to come from nowhere. I will highlight opportunities you have overlooked. I will arrange coincidental meetings with people who can help you. Your part is to listen and to act. And yes, I am moving in the realm of the miraculous. For every mountain of debt that has seemed insurmountable, the credit card balances, the student loans, the mortgage that feels like a crushing weight, I am activating supernatural debt cancellation and provision on your behalf. I am the God who can bring money from a fish's mouth, and I can certainly bring provision from sources you cannot yet see. But even more important than the provision itself is the transformation of your mind. I am replacing the old, cramped mentality of scarcity with a spacious, liberating mindset of kingdom abundance. You will begin to see the world through my eyes, a world filled with opportunity and resource, all under my command. You will learn to trust me as your true source. You are being repositioned to be a lender, not a borrower, a glorious conduit of my resources to a world in need. So get ready. Expect sudden financial turnarounds. Expect checks in the mail you didn't know were coming. Expect favor with banks and creditors. Expect surprising opportunities. Your season of financial struggle is dissolving, and a new season of kingdom abundance is taking its place. My child, I know the profound pain that comes from broken relationships. It is a wound that festers, affecting every other area of your life. I have seen the silent dinners, the tense holiday gatherings, the text messages left unanswered. I have felt the ache in your heart over the distance that has grown between you and a sibling, a parent, a child, or a friend you once held so dear. The enemy loves to sow division, strife, and misunderstanding to isolate you and steal your joy. But today, I am breathing new life into the relationships that the enemy has tried to destroy. I am stepping into the middle of those broken connections as the great reconciler. Where hearts have become hard and unforgiving like stone, I am sending my spirit to soften them, turning them back into hearts of flesh that can feel, that can forgive, and that can love again. The stubborn pride and the painful memories that have formed a wall between you and your loved ones are being dismantled by my grace. I am orchestrating divine reconnections. Do not be surprised when you suddenly feel the urge to call someone you haven't spoken to in years. Do not be shocked when you run into someone you thought you would never see again. These are not accidents. These are my divinely orchestrated appointments to heal deep relational rifts. And as I heal the old, I am also bringing in the new. I know the loneliness you have felt, the feeling that no one truly understands you. I am bringing new, covenant friendships into your life. These will not be superficial acquaintances. These will be divinely assigned allies who will support your destiny, speak truth into your life with love, celebrate your victories as their own, and stand with you in battle. The spirit of division, strife, and misunderstanding is being bound, and its assignment against you is canceled. Twisted words will be made straight. Misunderstandings will be cleared up with supernatural clarity. You will experience a new level of unity, love, and support in your circles. Your home will begin to feel like a haven of peace, not a field of conflict. Your friendships will become a source of strength, not a source of drama. I am restoring the foundations of your life, and those foundations are the people you love and who love you. Let my healing love be the glue that mends what was broken. My beloved, I see the confusion that has clouded your mind. You are standing at a crossroads, and the path forward is unclear. The world screams its advice from every direction, and it has left you feeling paralyzed, afraid of making the wrong choice. You have prayed for clarity, for a sign, for just a whisper of direction. Today, I am answering that prayer. I am releasing a fresh outpouring of divine wisdom and supernatural discernment upon you. I am giving you new eyes that will see beyond the surface of a situation, beyond the natural facts, and into the spiritual truth of the matter. I am giving you new ears that will be able to distinguish my specific, gentle instructions from the loud, confusing clamor of the world, your own flesh, and the enemy. You will learn to discern the subtle difference between what seems like a good opportunity and what is truly a divine appointment from me. You will know the difference between the holy and the profane, between my perfect will and a clever counterfeit. The mental fog that has made it difficult to think clearly, to plan, to even pray, it is lifting now. My spirit is like a mighty wind blowing through the corridors of your mind, clearing out the cobwebs of confusion and indecision. In their place, I am giving you a supernatural clarity and a laser-like focus. You will be able to make decisions not with anxiety, but with a quiet, steadfast confidence that can only come from being in perfect sync with me. You will move forward with conviction because you will have a deep inner knowing, a witness in your spirit, that you are walking in the path I have ordained for you. And as you steward this gift of wisdom well, I will entrust you with more. I will begin to share deeper secrets of my kingdom with you, insights that will be crucial for navigating the days ahead. Understand this: the wisdom I give you is both a shield and a key. It will protect you simultaneously, steering you away from hidden pitfalls and costly mistakes. And it will promote you, unlocking doors and positioning you for advancement in ways you never could have achieved on your own. Cease your striving for an answer. Be still and let my wisdom settle upon you now. Can you feel the weight of my words settling in your spirit? We have journeyed into the secret places of your heart, and to abandon our conversation now would be to treat this holy ground as common. It pains my heart when a child hears my promises of wisdom but does not stay to receive the keys to unlock them. The most crucial truths are just ahead. Now, my child, we must deal with the thief that has stolen so much of your peace, your joy, and your sleep. We must deal with fear. It has been a constant companion, a tormenting voice that whispers of everything that could go wrong. It has held you captive, paralyzing you and keeping you from the abundant life I have for you. But listen to my voice now, for it carries a power that fear cannot withstand. I am releasing my perfect love to flood every part of your heart, your mind, and your spirit. My love is not a passive sentiment. It is an active, conquering force. And as it rises within you, it is casting out, expelling, and forcefully evicting all fear. The spirit of anxiety that has tormented your mind, the racing heart, the shallow breath, the constant sense of impending doom, is being silenced by the authority of my commanding peace. The incessant what-ifs that have plagued you are being replaced by the unshakable reality of my I am. You ask, what if I fail? I answer, I am your strength. You ask, what if I am abandoned? I answer, I am with you always, to the very end of the age. You ask, what if I can't provide for my family? I answer, I am your provider, Jehovah Jireh. This is more than just a feeling. It is a divine transaction. I am taking your fear and giving you my faith. I am taking your anxiety and giving you my peace. You will begin to walk with a holy boldness. This is not arrogance or recklessness. It is a quiet, powerful courage that comes from knowing that the one who is in you is far greater than anyone or anything that is in the world. You will no longer be afraid of the giants in your promised land. You will face that difficult conversation. You will apply for that challenging job. You will step out into your calling, not because you feel fearless, but because you know I am with you. The deep-seated torment of insecurity and inadequacy, the feeling that you are not good enough, is being broken off of you permanently. I am canceling the power of that ancient lie and replacing it with the resounding truth of your identity as my cherished and empowered child. Tonight you will sleep soundly. You can release your grip of control. You can cease your anxious striving. For I myself am your guardian, your protector, your ever-watchful Father, and I never slumber, and I never sleep. Rest, my child. Be at peace. You are safe in me. My child, when I formed you in your mother's womb, I did not create you as an empty vessel. I meticulously wove spiritual gifts into the very fabric of your being. Think of them as treasures I have hidden within the depths of your spirit, waiting for this specific moment of activation. For years, these gifts may have been dormant, like glowing embers buried under the ashes of daily life. Perhaps you have neglected them, not understanding what they were. Perhaps you were taught that such things were not for you, or perhaps the fear of what others might think has kept you from even exploring what I have placed inside you. You have felt an inkling, a prompting, a sense that there is more to your spiritual walk, but you have dismissed it. Today, that changes. With the breath of my Holy Spirit, I am blowing away the ashes of fear, neglect, and unbelief. I am fanning those dormant embers into a vibrant, blazing flame. What was once a faint glow will now become a fire that cannot be contained or ignored. You are about to discover a capacity you never knew you had, a divine ability to impact the world around you in my name. Let me be specific about what this means for you. I have given you the gift of prophecy. Now, do not let that word intimidate you. For you, it will often manifest as knowing the exact right thing to say at the exact right time. You will be in a conversation with a friend who is secretly hurting, and my words of comfort and encouragement will flow from your lips, speaking directly to their hidden pain. You will bring clarity to a confusing situation, and your words will feel like a direct message from me to them, because that is precisely what they will be. I am also activating the gift of healing. This may not look like a grand stage ministry. It will look like you laying a hand on your child's feverish head and speaking my peace and wholeness over them. It will be the courage to offer to pray for a coworker's chronic headache and the quiet astonishment when they tell you later that the pain is completely gone. You are to be a conduit of my restorative, healing power in the small, everyday moments of life. Your capacity to hear my voice is being dramatically increased. What were once faint whispers you could easily dismiss will become clear, gentle conversations. Your ability to see in the spirit is being sharpened, not so you see strange visions, but so you can perceive the truth of a situation, discerning motives, and seeing my hand at work where others only see chaos. The primary thing that has kept you from stewarding these gifts has been the fear of man, the paralyzing question of, what will people think if I step out? What if I get it wrong? Right now, I am breaking the power of that fear. I am filling you with a holy reverence for me that is so much greater than your fear of man's opinion. Understand the purpose. This activation is not for your glory. It is not to make you seem important or super spiritual. It is to make you a clear, open channel for my love and power to flow through to a broken and desperate world. You will become a walking, talking demonstration of the reality of my kingdom. My child, just as I am fanning your spiritual gifts into flame, you may also feel a desire stirring within you to help send this word like fire across the world. This is your divine opportunity to become a channel not just for my power, but for my voice, reaching souls I have called to hear this very message. As my word promises, I love a cheerful giver, and I will supply and multiply the seed you sow to carry this light. Your gift becomes a holy vessel, carrying the oil of my presence to hearts sitting in darkness. As you give, I will command 100-fold harvest of favor to seek you out in return. Do not quench this prompting of my spirit. Become a channel for my glory and give now through Super Thanks membership, or the PayPal link you see below. My precious child, I have not been blind to your wilderness. I know this season has felt like a desolate, lonely, and endless wandering. The wilderness is a place of profound testing, and yours has had its own unique landscape of pain. Perhaps it has been the wilderness of unemployment, where every day is a battle against feelings of worthlessness and fear for the future. Perhaps it has been the wilderness of prolonged singleness, where the ache of loneliness is a constant companion. For you, it may have been the wilderness of grief, a barren land where all the color has drained from life, or a spiritual wilderness, where your prayers seemed to hit the ceiling and you felt utterly and completely alone, as if I were 1,000,000 miles away. You have looked in every direction and seen no clear path forward, only more of the same barren ground. You have been exhausted, thirsty for a hope that seemed to have dried up. But I am here to tell you that this season of desolation is now coming to its divinely appointed end. Where there has been no path, where you have been lost in the confusing, trackless sands of your circumstances, I am creating a highway of holiness. This is not a complicated map you must decipher. It is a clear, straight, and solid road appearing right before you, leading you out of confusion and into my ordained purpose. And in the driest deserts of your life, in your exhausted emotions, your tired body, your parched spirit, I am causing rivers of living water to flow. This is the refreshing, life-giving presence of my Holy Spirit, and it will flow into every part of your being, bringing refreshment where there was weariness, life where there was barrenness, and growth where there was stagnation. I need you to reframe how you see this past season. What felt to you like aimless, wasted wandering was, in my hands, your training ground. Every moment you had to depend on me for your next step, every tear that watered the desert floor, every trial that stripped away your self-reliance, it was all part of a divine curriculum designed to prepare you for the promised land I am now bringing you into. It was not a detour. It was the necessary path to your destiny. The time of just barely getting by is over. I am declaring a fundamental shift from surviving to thriving. Surviving is about meager rations and constant anxiety. Thriving is about my abundance, my joy, my purpose, and seeing your life flourish in every way. The season of just surviving is officially over. The season of abundant thriving begins today. I will make your wilderness blossom like a rose. The very areas of your life that were once marked by the most pain and barrenness will now burst forth with such undeniable beauty, color, and fragrance that it will be an undeniable testament to my restorative and life-giving power. My child, let us talk about your story. I know that when you look back, there are chapters you would rather tear out. You see a story of trials, of failures, of pain, and of shame. But I see your story through the lens of redemption, and I am here to tell you that your story is being transformed. The central theme is shifting. It is no longer a story about your struggle. It is becoming a powerful testimony of my triumph in your struggle. Your greatest tests are now becoming your most powerful message. That season that nearly broke you, the battle with addiction, the crushing weight of depression, the humiliation of a financial collapse, the heartbreak of a betrayal, that very experience is being repurposed. I am turning it into a message of hope that will unlock freedom for countless others who are currently trapped in the exact same prison you have been freed from. Your scars are not marks of shame. They are your credentials. They prove that a wound can heal. They qualify you, with profound empathy and authority, to minister to others who are still wounded. There is a spiritual principle you must grasp. You will overcome the enemy by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of your testimony. Your testimony is not just a story. It is a weapon. When you open your mouth and declare my faithfulness in the midst of your darkest hour, you are releasing my power into the atmosphere. Your story silences the accuser, who whispers to another struggling soul, "You're the only one. You will never get out." Your words become a sword of truth, cutting through lies and releasing a faith in their hearts to believe that if I did it for you, I can do it for them. For so long, shame has kept you silent. The enemy has convinced you that your past disqualifies you. Today, I am washing that shame away completely. I am removing it from you as far as the east is from the west and replacing it with the profound honor of being my chosen vessel. There is no condemnation for those who are in me. Your past does not disqualify you. My grace has repurposed it to qualify you. What the enemy meant for your absolute destruction, I am now turning into the very source of your greatest anointing and your most profound authority. The area where he attacked you the most fiercely will be the area where you will now walk in the greatest victory, leading others into that same freedom. So, I am commissioning you today. Get ready to share your story. You do not need a stage or a microphone. It will happen in quiet conversations, over a cup of coffee, in a message to a friend. Be ready because many are waiting. They are hanging on by a thread. And your story, your testimony of my goodness, holds the very key they need to find hope and begin their own journey to freedom. My beloved, I care about every part of you, and that includes your physical body. For too long, you have accepted aches, pains, and weariness as a non-negotiable part of your life. You have been weighed down by chronic pain that limits your days, by a bone-deep fatigue that no amount of sleep seems to cure, by a diagnosis from a doctor that brought a cloud of fear over your future. Today, I am speaking creative life into your physical body, from the very crown of your head to the soles of your feet. My words are not just encouraging thoughts. They are decrees of power that are calling your body into alignment with my original, perfect design for it. Where there has been disease, I speak healing. Where there has been weakness, I speak strength. Where there has been malfunction, I speak divine order. Supernatural rejuvenation and the reversal of infirmities are being released to you now. I am commanding cells to be restored, systems to be regulated, and pain to be silenced. I want you to take a deep breath. As you do, I want you to believe that you are breathing in my ruach, my very breath of life. It is the same breath that I breathed into Adam at the beginning, the same spirit that raised Christ from the dead. That life-giving breath is filling your lungs, oxygenating your blood, and bringing a divine energy into your mortal frame. This is a strength that does not come from caffeine or willpower. This is a supernatural vitality that is replacing the weariness and fatigue that have clung to you for so long. Remember, your body is not merely a machine that is breaking down. Your body is the temple of my Holy Spirit. It is the sacred place where I have chosen to dwell on this earth. Therefore, its health and its wholeness are my deep concern. I am decreeing a divine cleansing and restoration over my own temple today. You will feel a new strength rising within you, a vigor you thought you had lost forever. The promise I made through my prophet Isaiah is for you. Today, you will run and not grow weary. You will walk and not faint. This is not just poetry. It is a practical promise. You will have the physical strength you need to fulfill the calling I have on your life. You will have the energy to play with your children or grandchildren, to work with excellence and joy, to serve others without feeling depleted. You are being renewed. I am your strength, and I am restoring your vitality, starting right now. You have felt the release of my power, but power without wisdom is a ship without a rudder. It would break my heart to give you these mighty gifts only to watch you lose them for not knowing how to steward them. Do not leave me now. I must teach you the posture required to protect the very miracle you have just received. My child, listen very carefully, for this is your part. I am releasing a tidal wave of my goodness, but you must position yourself to receive it. You must adopt the posture of a receiver. First, I need you to empty your hands. Look at what you are clinging to so tightly. You are holding on to old hurts, replaying offenses in your mind. You are gripping your own plans and your own timelines, afraid to let go of control. You are clutching the comfortable but limiting habits that have kept you stuck. My beloved, you cannot take hold of the new and glorious things I have for you if your fists are clenched around the old and the broken. Right now, in an act of faith and surrender, I want you to physically open your hands. Uncurl your fingers. Release it all to me. Release the pain. Release the need to understand. Release your plans. Empty your hands so that I can fill them. Next, I need you to lift your eyes. For weeks, months, perhaps even years, your gaze has been fixed on your circumstances. You have been staring at the mountain of bills, at the difficult person, at the problem that seems to have no solution. And as long as you stare at the problem, it will be all you can see, and it will magnify itself in your mind. I am commanding you to lift your gaze. Take your eyes off the horizontal plane of your troubles and fix them on the vertical reality of who I am. Look at me. I am the author of this new chapter, the creator of your breakthrough, the finisher of your faith. When you change what you are looking at, your entire perspective will shift. The problems will shrink in the light of my magnificent presence. Then, I need you to open your mouth. But not to complain, not to list your problems again. I am calling you to open your mouth and begin to praise me for what is already done. Praise is the language of faith. It is you agreeing with the reality of heaven before you see it on earth. Begin to thank me for the healing, for the provision, for the breakthrough, as if you are already holding it in your hands. This act of praise shifts the spiritual atmosphere around you and opens the door wide for my promises to manifest. Cultivate a heart of expectancy. Do not just passively hope this will happen. Wake up every morning expecting to see my goodness. Look for my hand at work in your day. Expect my favor. Expect my miracles. Finally, let your spirit agree with my spirit. My spirit is declaring all of this over you right now. Your spirit must rise up to meet mine. Let your yes be loud and clear in your heart. Let it be a resounding agreement with everything I have spoken. It is in this posture of empty hands, lifted eyes, a mouth full of praise, and a heart full of expectant agreement that you will fully receive everything I am releasing today. My child, it is crucial that you understand this next part, for it is the bridge between my promise and your possession of it. My release is a finished work in the heavenly realm, a divine reality that has already been decreed. However, my release is often tied to your corresponding action of faith here on earth. Think of it this way. I have already provided the immense power at the power station, but your obedience is the act of flipping the switch in your own home to let the electricity flow. The power is available, but your action is what makes it manifest in your life. I am inviting you to be an active participant in your own breakthrough. In the coming days, I will give you specific, sometimes very simple, instructions. It will be a gentle but clear prompting in your spirit. It may be to call that person you have been avoiding, to finally have that difficult conversation you have been dreading. It might be to give a small amount of money away, an act that seems completely illogical when you are worried about your own finances. It could be the instruction to start writing the first page of that book, to draft the business plan, or to take the first step toward reconciliation, even when your pride is screaming at you to wait for the other person to move first. You must not delay in carrying these instructions out. Your human logic will immediately try to reason them away. Your mind will say, "That's foolish, that's not the right time, or I'll do it tomorrow." You must recognize that reasoning for what it is, a subtle form of resistance to my will. I am calling you to complete surrender, not partial obedience. Partial obedience is when you do the parts of my will that feel comfortable and make sense to you, while ignoring the parts that stretch you or require real faith. This will only ever yield partial results. Your obedience is the key that you must turn in the lock of my promises. You can stand before the locked door of your blessing. You can admire it. You can talk about it. You can even pray about it, but only the decisive act of turning the key of obedience will swing that door open. Do not try to understand everything. My wisdom operates on a level that your mind cannot always comprehend. Trusting my what without demanding to know the how and the why is the very essence of true faith. The speed of your blessing is often directly connected to the speed of your obedience. The anointing, the grace, and the provision for the instruction are available the moment I give it. When you hesitate, you risk stepping outside of that perfect timing. So, I urge you, cultivate a spirit of immediate, joyful obedience. When you hear my prompting, let your first response be yes, Lord, before your mind has a chance to talk you out of your miracle. My child, as soon as this divine conversation is over, as soon as you step back into the flow of your day, a battle will begin for the word I have spoken to you. You must be prepared. The enemy, your adversary, operates as a thief, and his primary target is the seed of my word that hath been planted in your heart. His greatest fear is that this seed will take root and produce the miraculous harvest I have promised. He will immediately come to try and steal it. His methods are predictable, yet effective. He will whisper doubts into your mind. Did God really say that? Was that just your own imagination? Look at your circumstances. Nothing has changed. He may use a cynical friend or a well-meaning but faithless family member to speak words of negativity and realism that directly contradict my promise. He will bring up the memory of your past failures, trying to convince you that you are disqualified from receiving this new thing. He will create a new crisis, a sudden problem, to distract you and fill you with such anxiety that you forget the promise you just received. Therefore, you must become a fierce guardian of this word. This is not a passive role. It requires intentional, active effort on your part. You must protect it. Meditate on what I have said. Do not just hear it once and move on. Come back to it. Read it over and over. Think about it until it moves from the intellectual understanding of your head down into the unshakable conviction of your heart. I command you to write down what I have spoken to you today. Find a journal, a piece of paper, the Notes app on your phone, and write it down. Make it plain. There is power in seeing the promise in physical form. Put it somewhere you will see it every day, on your bathroom mirror, on the dashboard of your car, on your desk at work. When doubt whispers, you must shout this promise back louder. Do not argue with the lie in your head. Demolish it with the truth from your mouth. Open your mouth and declare, "No, God has said the season of waiting is over. God has said He is healing me. God has said He is my provider." You must also water this prophetic seed. The word I have given you is a seed. Your prayers of faith and your declarations of trust are the water that will cause it to germinate and grow. If you neglect it, it will wither. Finally, do not allow the cares of this world to choke out this life-giving message. The anxieties about your job, your finances, your children, they are like weeds that will grow up and suffocate the life out of my promise. You must intentionally pull those weeds by casting every single one of those cares upon me, for I care for you. Guard this word as the precious, life-altering treasure that it is. My beloved, I want to correct a misunderstanding that may have settled in your heart. You may think that faith is a passive experience, that you are simply to sit and wait for me to drop blessings from the sky. That is not the relationship I have designed for us. This is not a passive reception. I am inviting you to partner with me. I am calling you to the joy and thrill of co-laboring with your Creator. We are building your future together, you and I. I am the master architect, the one who holds the blueprint, but I have extended a glorious invitation to you to be my partner on the construction site. Your faith, when put into action, moves my heart and my hand. While my love for you is unconditional and does not depend on what you do, my power is often released in response to your active trust. Think of it like this: the path into your promised land is not fully paved and visible. But as you take one step of faith into the unknown, trusting me completely, I will lay the very next stone on the path right before your foot lands. I will not show you the whole staircase, but I will illuminate the very next step. This requires you to move, to walk, to act on my word without seeing the final outcome. In the economy of this world, money is the currency that makes things happen. But in my kingdom, the currency that moves mountains and parts seas is your trust in me, your faith. The more you spend your trust by taking risks and obedience, by stepping out when it doesn't make sense, the more of my kingdom's power and resources you will see released on your behalf. I delight in your participation. I do not need your help, but I desire it. I want you to experience the profound joy of seeing my power flow through your hands, my wisdom flow from your lips. When you take that step to forgive someone, you are co-laboring with me in the ministry of reconciliation. When you use your resources to bless someone in need, you are co-laboring with me as I provide for my children. When you speak a word of encouragement, you are co-laboring with me as I build up my church. I am calling you out of the spectator seats and onto the field of play. This journey we are on is not meant to be a terrifying ordeal of blind faith, but the greatest and most thrilling adventure of your life. There will be challenges, yes, but the joy of walking hand in hand with me, of seeing me work through you to accomplish the impossible, will be a reward unlike any other. Let us build this new chapter together. My child, for far too long, you have lived in a room with a very low ceiling, a ceiling that you yourself have built. It is a ceiling constructed from the bricks of past failures, the mortar of critical words spoken over you by others, and the heavy paint of your own insecurities. Every time you have tried to stand up to your full height in me, you have hit your head on the ceiling, and it has taught you to stay small, to live hunched over, to not expect too much. Today, with the authority of my love, I am shattering that ceiling. I am demolishing the self-imposed limitations you have placed on your own potential. The lies you have believed about what you can and cannot do, the false narratives that have defined your identity, are being exposed and nullified by the power of my truth right now. Listen to me. You have believed the lie that you are not smart enough. You have believed the lie that you do not have the right education or background. You have believed the lie that you are too old to start something new, or too young to be taken seriously. You have believed the lie that your past mistakes have permanently disqualified you. You have looked at others and thought, that kind of blessing is for them, not for someone like me. I am here to tell you that every one of those thoughts is a lie from the pit of hell, designed to keep you from the glorious destiny I have written for you. I see you, not as you are in this moment, weighed down by your flaws and fears, but as who I created you to be, powerful, radiant, creative, and fully capable of achieving everything I have placed in your heart. I am calling you to stop looking at yourself through the cracked lens of your own perception, and to begin seeing yourself through my eyes of grace. I issue a divine command to you today. Stop disqualifying yourself from the blessings I am freely giving. When you say I am not worthy, you are unintentionally insulting the sacrifice of my Son, which is the very thing that has made you worthy. Your worthiness is not based on your performance, it is based on His performance on your behalf. Your past failures are not an indication of your future. In my kingdom, failure is never a final verdict. It is simply a learning opportunity that I can redeem and use to build a foundation for your future success with me. So receive this now. Receive my grace-filled perspective of yourself. Accept that you are deeply loved. Accept that you are fully forgiven. Accept that you are infinitely capable, not in your own strength, but through the limitless power of my Spirit who lives within you. The ceiling is gone. Stand up to your full height, my beloved. Now you know how to receive, but I yearn to unveil the accelerated path I have laid out for you. My heart aches when my children stop listening right before I reveal the blueprint of their divine assignment. To turn back now is to forfeit the map just as you have reached the edge of your promised land. Prepare yourself, for the rhythm and pace of your life are about to change. You have been operating on a human timeline, where growth is often slow, incremental, and laborious. You have become accustomed to a pace where it takes years to learn a lesson, years to overcome a character flaw, years to see even a small amount of progress. But I am here to announce that I am shifting you out of chronological time and into my Kairos time. I am ushering you into a season of supernatural acceleration. What used to take you years to learn and accomplish will now happen in a fraction of the time. I am a God who can bend time and redeem what was lost. I want you to think of the years you feel have been wasted. The years lost in a dead-end job, in a toxic relationship, in directionless wandering, or in battling a persistent sin. You look back at the time with regret, seeing it as a total loss. But I am the great Redeemer of time. I am not just forgiving those lost years, I am supernaturally restoring them. I will sovereignly work in your life to bring about so much growth and accomplishment in such a short period that it will effectively compensate for all the time the locusts have eaten. You will experience this as rapid spiritual maturity. Truths in my word that have been confusing to you for years will suddenly become crystal clear, unlocking new levels of freedom in your life. You will find yourself responding to frustrating situations with a patience and a wisdom that will surprise you. The character flaws that have plagued you for decades will begin to fall away with startling speed. Your journey toward your destiny, which has felt like a slow walk down a winding country road, is about to be moved onto a divine expressway. The progress will be faster, smoother, and more direct than anything you have ever experienced. This acceleration will also manifest in the natural realm. So, prepare for sudden advancement. Prepare for opportunities to come to you that you did not seek out. Prepare for promotions that you do not feel qualified for. Prepare for a divine favor that causes you to advance past others with more experience or better qualifications. This is not because of your own efforts. It is the result of my hand of grace being upon you. It is essential that you understand this. This season of acceleration is not something you have earned. You cannot strive to make it happen. It is a sovereign gift of my grace for this specific and strategic time. Your role is not to work harder, but to surrender more deeply. It is to stay in step with my spirit, to run when I say run, to be agile and ready for the rapid and wonderful changes I am about to bring into your life. The pace is picking up. Get ready to move with me. My child, for so long you have wrestled with the great questions of the heart. In the quiet hours of the night you have asked, why am I truly here? What is the purpose of my life? Am I making any real difference? This sense of ambiguity has been a heavy burden. It has felt like you are walking through a thick fog, able to see only a few feet in front of you, unsure if you are even on the right path. You have seen others walk with a clear sense of purpose, and it has intensified your own feelings of being lost or left behind. You have yearned for clarity, for a divine signpost that would point the way. I am here to tell you that the season of ambiguity and confusion concerning your calling is coming to a swift and decisive end. The fog is about to be burned away by the light of my presence, and for the first time, you will see your path with a breathtaking clarity. I am releasing a divine unveiling of your specific, unique assignment in this generation. I want you to pay attention to your own heart. What are the things that fill you with a holy passion? What injustices in the world make you righteously angry? What unique skills and talents have I woven into your very being? The things you do with an almost effortless grace. These are not random. For years, you may have seen them as disconnected hobbies or burdens, but I am now connecting the dots for you. I am showing you how your deepest passions are the very signposts that point directly to your divine purpose. It is a divine synergy, where the things that make you come alive are the very things I will use to bring my life to the world through you. Furthermore, I am going to unveil to you how your unique story, with all of its triumphs and all of its tears, all of its victories and all of its pain, fits perfectly into my grand, eternal plan. Your life is not an isolated, random event. You are a crucial, irreplaceable piece of a divine puzzle, and I am about to show you how you fit. This will not be a vague ethereal mission statement. I will illuminate the very next practical steps. The clarity will be undeniable. It might be as simple as signing up for a specific class, starting a conversation with a certain person, volunteering your time at a specific organization, or starting that small project I placed on your heart years ago. Do not despise the small beginnings, for they are the illuminated next steps on your grand journey. You were born for such a time as this. Your existence in this specific moment of history is no accident. The world is groaning for the very thing I have placed inside of you. Today, your commission is being clarified, your assignment is being unveiled, so you can finally step out of the fog and walk forward with the bold confidence of one who knows exactly why they are here. Now that your divine commission is being clarified, your first act of purpose may be to empower this assignment to reach my children who are still lost in the fog of confusion. The fields are white for harvest, and your support today sends this life-giving manna into the wilderness for those who are starving for hope. I now speak this word over you from my prophet. Test me in this, and see if I will not throw open the floodgates of heaven and pour out a blessing you cannot contain. Your giving is a prophetic act of faith that declares your trust in me as your source. For your obedience, I will rebuke the devourer for your sake and protect the harvest of your own life. Step into your assignment and sow into this mission now. My child, we must now address the long-standing battles that have depleted your energy, drained your resources, and tested the very limits of your hope. You know exactly what I am speaking of. It is that stubborn adversary, that relentless opposition that has refused to yield. For you, it may be a chronic health issue that has defied every prayer and every doctor. It could be a protracted legal battle that has stretched on for years, a person in your workplace or family who seems dedicated to undermining your every move, a cyclical pattern of debt that you can never seem to break free from, or a hidden addiction that has held you in its grip for far too long. These battles have become a part of your identity, a constant, wearying presence in your life. You have fought valiantly, but you are tired. You feel you have no fight left. That is why I am stepping in now. I declare to you that these long-standing wars, these draining battles of attrition, are coming to a sudden, dramatic, and final close. The season of striving against this opposition is being divinely concluded. Now, I want you to do something very specific. I want you to lay down your weapons. Lay down the weapons of your own striving, your anxious planning, your fearful manipulation. Your fight is now over, because I am rising up as your divine warrior to personally fight on your behalf. You are moving from being a soldier on the front lines to being a spectator who will witness my salvation. I am not a distant king who sends his troops to fight. I am the king who goes before you, who fights for you. I am your champion, your defender, your vindicator, and I never lose a battle. I am rising against your enemies, both seen and unseen. The visible enemies, the difficult people, the unjust systems, will find their plans frustrated and their efforts turned to confusion. The unseen enemies, the spiritual forces of opposition that have resisted your progress at every turn, are being scattered right now by my command. I am releasing confusion into the enemy's camp, and they will turn on each other, dismantling their own plans against you. And you must hold on to this promise. What your adversaries meant for your absolute evil, I am turning around for your greatest good. The very area where they have attacked you the most relentlessly is the very ground upon which I will build your most glorious testimony. The enemy has profoundly overplayed his hand, and in the high courts of heaven, the case has been heard. The verdict has been rendered. I, the righteous judge of all, have slammed down the gavel in your favor. The case is closed. Your victory is decreed. Now, walk out of the courtroom of striving and into the promised land of your victory. My beloved, listen to me. You have been praying for me to fill your cup. You have been asking for just enough of my presence, just enough of my strength to get you through the day. That is a good prayer, but I am here to tell you that I am about to answer it in a way that will exceed your wildest expectations. I am not interested in just filling your cup to the brim. Today, I am anointing you until you overflow. I am opening the heavens over you and pouring out my Spirit in such a measure that your life will not be able to contain it. Imagine a vessel held under a mighty waterfall. That is what I am doing in your spirit. It is an anointing so abundant, so powerful, that it will spill out from you and impact everyone and everything you come into contact with. This is not an anointing for you to simply hold or to feel good about. It is an anointing that must be released. It is a river, and a river must flow. Let me tell you what this overflowing anointing is for. It is an anointing for divine influence. Your words will begin to carry a new weight, a new spiritual authority. When you speak, people will listen in a different way, because they will hear the echo of my voice in yours. It is an anointing for deliverance. As you interact with people, you will carry a presence that breaks chains. People bound by fear, by depression, by addiction will feel those bondages loosen and break simply by being in your presence, because the one who is in you is the great chain breaker. It is an anointing for breakthrough. You will become a catalyst for miracles in the lives of others. You will pray for people, and situations that have been stuck for years will suddenly begin to move. You will become a carrier of my hope, my peace, and my power. You must understand that you are becoming a mobile distribution center for the resources of my kingdom. You are not meant to contain this anointing. You are commissioned to release it. And with this anointing comes the beautiful fragrance of my presence. Like a sweet, costly perfume, the essence of who I am will saturate your life, and it will linger in every room you leave, in every life you touch. It will be an undeniable sign to a watching world that you have been with me. You are no longer just a believer. You are being commissioned as a walking, talking agent of my kingdom's power, an ambassador of my goodness, sent to demonstrate the glorious reality of my love on the earth. My child, there is a sound that has been coming from your life, and I have heard it. In this past season, it has often been the sound of sorrow, the sound of desperate petition, the sound of weeping in the night. It has been the sound of a heart struggling to hold on. But today I am doing a new thing within you, and it will produce a new sound from you. I am reaching into your heart, which is the instrument of your worship, and I am tuning it. For a long time, it has been out of tune, made dissonant by disappointment, stress, and grief. I am recalibrating your heart, tuning every string to the perfect frequency of heaven. And from this newly tuned instrument, a new song will be released. This is not simply about new melodies or new words. It is a song with a completely new theme. Your old song was a plea from a place of desperation. Oh God, please help me. Please save me. Your new song will be a declaration from a place of victory. My God, I thank you, for you have already saved me. You have already delivered me. By faith, you will begin to sing from the other side of your breakthrough, even before you see it fully manifest. You must understand that your worship is a weapon. When you begin to praise and thank me, especially when your circumstances have not yet changed, it is one of the most powerful acts of spiritual warfare you can engage in. It utterly confuses the enemy. It silences the voice of the accuser. Your praise builds a throne, a place of dominion for my presence to inhabit right in the middle of your circumstances. When you choose to release the sound of joy and gratitude, you will shift atmospheres. You will walk into your tense home, And as you begin to praise me in your heart, the spirit of strife will have to flee. You will go to your stressful workplace, and your inner sound of worship will release a peace that calms the chaos. The fundamental shift is this: you are moving from a posture of desperation to a posture of declaration. You are no longer a beggar pleading for a victory. You are a beloved child confidently declaring the victory that has already been won for you by my Son. This new sound of unshakable joy coming from you, especially when the world knows you are facing challenges, will be one of the most powerful signs and wonders you can display. People will be drawn to you. They will ask you, how can you have such peace? How can you have such joy amidst all of this? And your answer will be your testimony. Your new song will be the irresistible evidence that your God has done great things for you. So open your mouth and let the new sound be released. This overflowing anointing I have just released requires a vessel strong enough to carry it. It would grieve my spirit profoundly to place a glorious weight upon you that you are not prepared to sustain. Do not forsake my voice now. Stay, and let me fortify your inner man for the glory that is to come. My beloved child, we have talked about the external changes I am bringing, but none of it will be sustainable without the crucial work I am doing on the inside of you. You have found your inner world to be fragile, easily shaken. A piece of bad news, a critical word, an unexpected setback has been enough to knock you off your feet and send you spiraling into anxiety and fear. You have felt emotionally and spiritually brittle. That is why, today, I am focusing my power on the fortification of your inner man. I am not just giving you a word of encouragement. I am supernaturally strengthening you with might in your innermost being. I am infusing your human spirit with the indestructible resilience of my own spirit. Imagine a building with a weak and cracked foundation. That is what your inner life has felt like. But now, I am going in and reinforcing that foundation. I am tearing out the crumbling concrete of false beliefs and old wounds, and I am pouring in the unbreakable steel of my truth and the solid bedrock of my righteousness. I am building within you a divine resilience, a spiritual and emotional capacity to withstand any future storm without crumbling. This is the ability to get hit by life's hardest blows and not only survive, but to bounce back even stronger, with even more faith than before. This is not something you can build on your own. It is a work of my grace. To do this, I am causing your spiritual roots to go down deep into the soil of my unconditional, unwavering love for you. You will no longer be like a shallow-rooted plant that can be easily uprooted by the first wind of adversity. Your roots will be so deeply entwined in my love that this love will become your anchor in the storm and your constant source of nourishment. It will hold you steady when everything around you is shaken. As these roots go deeper, the core of who you are is being perfectly aligned with my spirit. This will eliminate the internal war you have so often felt. Your will, your emotions, and your thoughts will begin to align more and more naturally with mine, creating a profound sense of inner integrity, wholeness, and peace. Please understand the purpose of this fortification. The days ahead will hold both great blessings and great challenges. This unshakable inner strength I am building in you today is my provision for your future. It will be your anchor, your internal fortress, that will keep you secure and steady when the waves and winds of this world begin to rage. I am making you unshakable from the inside out. My child, for too long you have lived your life like a city without walls, open and vulnerable to every passing demand, every emotional storm, and every draining personality. You have felt overwhelmed, taken advantage of, and consistently depleted because you have not understood the divine art of setting holy boundaries. You have believed the lie that to be a loving person, you must say yes to every request, carry every burden offered to you, and be endlessly available to everyone. This has left you exhausted, resentful, and with little energy left for the primary assignment I have given you. Today, I am releasing you from this bondage, and I myself will teach you how to establish and maintain the healthy, holy boundaries that will protect your peace and preserve your purpose. Understand this. My boundaries are not walls to keep people out, but fences that define the sacred ground of your life, creating a safe space for you to flourish. I am giving you the spiritual discernment and the holy courage to release yourself from toxic entanglements. You know the ones I mean, the one-sided friendships where you do all the giving, the draining family dynamics that leave you feeling small and anxious, the commitments you made out of guilt rather than a true leading from my spirit. I am giving you permission, and indeed the mandate, to lovingly and respectfully disentangle yourself. I am placing a spiritual hedge of protection around you, your mind, and your family. This hedge is not only to protect you from overt attack, but to keep out the subtle toxins of gossip, negativity, and the anxieties of others that you have been so prone to absorb. One of the most crucial lessons I am teaching you in this season is how to say no to the good, so that you have the capacity to say yes to my best. Many opportunities that come your way will be good, noble things. But 1,000 good things can become the enemy of the one best thing I have called you to do. I am giving you the wisdom to discern the difference. The root of your struggle with boundaries has been the fear of man, the bondage of people-pleasing. You have been more afraid of disappointing others than of disobeying me. Today, I am breaking that chain. Your identity is found in my unconditional love for you, not in the fickle approval of people. As you begin to walk within the safe, spacious, and well-defined borders I am establishing for your life, you will find that your peace is no longer a fragile visitor but a permanent resident of your soul. My beloved, I know that in the past season, your spirit has felt dry. Your relationship with me may have begun to feel more like a duty than a delight. Prayer has felt like a chore on your to-do list. Reading my word has felt like an obligation you struggle to fulfill, and my presence has felt distant. You have gone through the motions, but the fire of passion in your heart has dwindled to a faint flicker. You have perhaps even felt shame over this, wondering where the passion you once had has gone. Hear me now. This spiritual apathy and dryness is not a permanent condition, and it is not a sign of your failure. It is a season, and today, that season is being washed away by a deluge of my spirit. I am not asking you to muster up a desire for me. I am supernaturally placing a renewed, insatiable hunger for my scriptures and my presence deep within your heart. It is a sovereign work of my grace. Where my word once seemed like a dry and dusty history book, you will find it coming alive to you. Revelation will leap off the pages and into your spirit, speaking with laser-like precision directly into the situations you are facing. You will find yourself thinking about my scriptures during the day, and they will become your source of wisdom, comfort, and strength. It will become your daily bread, the very substance your soul craves in order to live. Even more than this, you will begin to crave time in my presence like never before. It will move from being a spiritual discipline you feel you should do to being the greatest delight of your day, the thing you must do. You will long for the quiet moments of communion, the tangible feeling of my closeness, more than you long for entertainment, for success, or even for the company of others. Your prayer life will be utterly revitalized. It will transform from a monologue of your requests into a rich, intimate dialogue. You will learn not just to speak to me, but to be still and listen for my voice in return. You will discover the profound joy of simply being with me, with no agenda other than to enjoy our friendship. I want you to see this renewed hunger not as another pressure or expectation, but as a precious gift. I spoke this promise. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be filled. The hunger itself is a blessing, because it is the divine guarantee of your satisfaction in me. I am creating the desire within you, and I am the only one who can and will gloriously fulfill it. My child, you have been running for a long time. I have seen your journey. I have seen you navigate treacherous terrain, climb steep mountains, and endure seasons of exhausting wilderness. And now, you are tired. There is a weariness in your soul that goes deeper than physical fatigue. In the hidden places of your heart, the temptation to give up, to slow down, to quit just before the finish line, has been whispering to you. The enemy would love nothing more than for you to abandon your race after coming so far. But I am speaking to you today as your coach, your sustainer, and your greatest encourager. I am releasing to you the supernatural grace and endurance you need to not only finish your race, but to finish it well. That spirit of discouragement that whispers it's not worth it anymore and you don't have what it takes is being silenced and broken by the power of my voice right now. I am renewing your vision for the prize. You have been so focused on the rocks and thorns on the path that you have lost sight of the glorious finish line. I am lifting your eyes to see what awaits you, the joy of fulfilling your purpose, the legacy you will leave for generations to come, and the unparalleled moment when you will see me face to face and hear the words, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." A clear vision of the prize will provide the fuel for these final laps, and you will not run out of resources. I promise you, every single thing you need to fulfill your calling will be provided. When your own strength is gone, my strength will be made perfect in your weakness. When your financial provision runs low, I will provide from my limitless riches. When you lack wisdom for the next turn, I will give it to you generously. You are not running alone. My right hand, the very hand that holds the universe in place, is upholding you. When you feel yourself stumble, you will feel me steadying you. When you falter and feel you are about to fall, you will feel me holding you up. You cannot fall beyond my grasp, and you will not finish this race in exhaustion. You will not crawl across the finish line, battered, bruised, and depleted. I am giving you a divine second wind, a final burst of my glorious energy. You will finish your race strong, with your head held high and a song of victory on your lips, in a blaze of my glory that will be a powerful testament to my sustaining and finishing power. My beloved, as part of this great release of the best into your life, I am giving you a gift that your weary soul desperately needs. I am releasing you from the exhausting, anxious toil you have lived under for most of your life, and I am inviting you to enter into my Sabbath rest. For you, work has become synonymous with striving. It has been a white-knuckled effort, a constant, churning anxiety, a deeply ingrained belief that everything depends on you, on your effort, on your performance. This has been a heavy, burdensome yoke, and you were never created to carry it. Today, I am lifting that heavy yoke of performance, perfectionism, and self-effort from your shoulders. It does not fit you, and it is not from me. In its place, I am inviting you to take my yoke upon you, for my yoke is custom fit to you, and my burden is light. I am inviting you into a completely new way of living and working, a divine rhythm of grace. This is not a call to inactivity or laziness. It is a call to operate from a place of deep, settled trust. It is the art of doing your part with all your diligence and then peacefully, confidently trusting me to do mine. It is working hard without the worry. It is planning and strategizing without the anxiety. This is a radical, kingdom paradigm shift that will change everything for you. Your greatest victories, your most profound breakthroughs, will no longer come from your most frantic work, but will be born out of your moments of peaceful trust and quiet surrender. I want you to learn to operate from the finished work of the cross. The ultimate battle for your victory Your value and your future has already been fought and won by my Son. You are not working for a victory you hope to achieve. You are now working from a position of a victory that has already been secured for you. So I command you today, cease from your own anxious labors. Stop striving. Stop worrying. Stop trying to control every outcome. Enter into my rest. Let go of the oars of your own effort and let the current of my grace carry you. In this place of rest, you will see my salvation, my provision, and my power unfold in your life in ways your striving could never have accomplished. You have received my strength and entered my rest. But the purpose of this peace is not for you alone. To stop listening here is to accept the gift but reject the great commission attached to it. My entire reason for blessing you is about to be revealed. Do not break my heart by turning away from your eternal purpose. Now, my child, as you receive all these incredible blessings, it is vital that you understand the ultimate purpose behind them. This outpouring is not just for you. I am not blessing you merely so you can live a comfortable and easy life. I am blessing you so that you can become a powerful conduit of my blessing to others. You must see yourself not as a reservoir, meant to hoard what you receive, but as a river, meant to carry this life-giving flow to the dry places of the world. What I am doing in you is not an isolated event. You are a prototype. You are a living, breathing model of the restorative, redeeming work I desire to do in countless lives across the earth. Your life is becoming a blueprint of my goodness, a tangible example that others can look to and find hope. Therefore, I am commissioning you to carry this message of hope and release to others who are still waiting, still hurting, still trapped in the very places from which you are being delivered. You will encounter them every day, the coworker with despair in their eyes, the family member who has lost all hope, the friend who feels stuck and forgotten. You will not need to preach a sermon to them. Your transformed life will be the most powerful message you could ever deliver. The undeniable peace on your face in the midst of pressure, the quiet joy in your spirit that transcends circumstances, the divine favor that opens doors for you. All of it will be an undeniable signpost that points directly and unequivocally to me. I am officially commissioning you as an ambassador of my goodness and my power. An ambassador does not speak their own opinions. They represent the heart and the will of the King who sent them. You are now to represent my heart to a world that has forgotten what I am truly like. So be ready. Be ready to share your story, to explain the change people see in you. And know that you are the first fruit of a much larger harvest I am beginning to release in the earth. Your transformation is a prophetic sign of what is to come for many. In blessing you, I am creating a wellspring of hope that will refresh a generation. My child, as we draw this conversation to a close, I must impress upon your spirit the most crucial nature of what has just transpired. Your mind, conditioned by a lifetime of fleeting experiences, may be tempted to categorize this moment as just another spiritual high, another emotional boost that will fade when the pressures of your week rush back in. You have had those moments before, a powerful sermon, an emotional psalm, a moment of inspiration that felt life-changing, only to evaporate like the morning mist, leaving you back where you started. I am telling you with all the authority of your unchanging God, this is not that. What I am doing in you today is not a temporary fix or a fleeting feeling. It is a permanent, foundational shift in your spiritual positioning. I am not redecorating the old, broken-down house of your past. I have moved you out of it entirely. Your spiritual address has changed. I have permanently relocated you from the land of striving to the land of grace, from the territory of lack to the realm of abundance. I am establishing you in this new place of victory, and you will not be easily moved from it. The ground beneath your feet is no longer the sinking sand of your own efforts, but the solid rock of my finished work. The old patterns of defeat, fear, and struggle are no longer your default setting. I am making you firm, stable, and steadfast in this new reality. And the blessings that are being released to you today are irrevocable. Hear that word, irrevocable. My gifts and my calling are without repentance, which means I do not change my mind. I do not give a gift of this magnitude and then take it back because you have a bad day or a moment of doubt. These blessings are sealed to you by the blood of my Son. They are yours for eternity. You can build the rest of your life upon these promises, for they are backed by my unchanging, unshakable character. You have, in this very hour, crossed over your own personal Jordan River. The wilderness of waiting, of wondering, of just surviving, is now behind you. The old life is gone, and there is no going back. This is your point of no return. You cannot unhear what I have declared. You cannot unreceive what I have released. The bridge to your old way of living has been burned away by the fire of my love. Do not even glance back. This new chapter I am writing in your life is not just a new page in the same old story. No, I have closed that entire volume. The book titled Your Life of Struggle is finished. Today, we open Volume 2, Your Life of Victory and Abundance in Me. It is a completely new book, with a new theme, a new trajectory, and a glorious new ending. The old story is done. Your new, permanent reality begins now. My beloved child, we are at the final, sacred moment. All hath been said. All hath been decreed. All hath been released. Now, there is only one thing left to do. I have one final command for you, and it is the key that unlocks everything else. Stop looking at your inadequacy and look at my all-sufficiency. In these last moments, the final lie of the enemy will be to try to turn your eyes back onto yourself. He will whisper, "Who are you to receive all this? Remember what you did. You're not good enough, not holy enough, not strong enough." Right now, you must make a final, decisive choice to turn away from the mirror of your own insufficiency and look only into the magnificent face of your all-sufficient God. Your inadequacy is completely and totally irrelevant in the face of my limitless grace. Your weakness is the very canvas upon which I will paint the masterpiece of my strength. Understand this like a legal transaction. The price for every single blessing I have spoken over you today, the healing, the breakthrough, the favor, the peace, has already been paid in full by the sacrifice of my Son on the cross. This is not something new you must strive to earn. This is a divine inheritance you are now coming to claim. The transaction was completed 2,000 years ago. Today is simply your day to walk into the divine bank of heaven, to go up to the teller of grace, and to make a withdrawal on the benefits that have been waiting in your account all along. This is not something you must earn. It is a gift that must be received. Striving is you trying to build a rickety ladder to climb up to me. Receiving is me lowering a golden staircase down to you and inviting you to simply step on. Release the burden of earning it. Your only work now is to open your heart and receive. The word has gone forth from my throne. Just as I spoke, "Let there be light," into the darkness, and light was. I have now spoken, "Let there be breakthrough into your life," and it is so. My word does not return to me void. It will accomplish the very purpose for which I have sent it. So now, let faith arise within you. Let it rise up like a lion, silencing every fear and every doubt. In this moment, I command you, stretch forth your spiritual hands. I do not mean this poetically. I mean for you to physically open your hands right now, palms up, as a sign of your surrender and your readiness to receive. Take a deep breath, and as you exhale, let go of all the old. As you inhale again, Breathe in my spirit, my peace, my new reality for you. Take hold of the unseen promises and pull them into your tangible world. It is done. The best has been released. Walk in it now, my beloved child. You have received my final word, and my best has been released to you. Your first act of walking in it is to release it to others. As you have freely received, I am now commissioning you to freely give, unleashing this river of hope to a world drowning in despair. I now declare this promise over you, my faithful child. Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will I pour into your lap. Your gift is a seed of faith planted in the most fertile ground, activating a supernatural law of return. This is your divine appointment to become a releaser of the best for souls across the globe. Become a conduit of my overflowing blessing and give generously now. My child, before you go, let your voice join the sound of heaven. Seal this divine decree over your life with an unshakable act of faith. Do not allow this moment to simply pass. Make your agreement a memorial that the enemy cannot erase. Declare it now for all the heavenly host and all the world to see by writing, by faith. The best is released to me today. Your written word is your amen. The prophetic flag you are planting to claim this new territory as your own. Go now, and let it be so. Amen. If you believe in me, your Heavenly Father, then like this video and leave a heartfelt amen in the comments. If you want to stay closer to me, then subscribe to this channel.